What's up, good people? We back in the building once again. Back in the building once again. We back in here. I'd like to thank everybody who will be following on in here today. When you come in, hit that like button. Whether you're catching it on the restream or you're catching it live right now, hit the like button. We're going to be talking about the election and a number of other topics. Going to be breaking down a number of things. I see a lot of people starting to file on in here. Appreciate everybody who coming in bright and early. Once, like I said again, sound like Biden when he said fumbling on my words, but we about to get it in, about to get it started. I see the first little bunch of 24 people came in here. Hit that like button. We about to get this thing going. You know how we do. You know what it is. You know how it is. So let's roll. Let's get it. Let's go.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam delay. See, I was driving over the moon in my big hot air balloon, floating high into the darkness. I hope I get there soon. There's so many things to do, so many people I need to talk to, and they've all been waiting for me. Well, I gotta make it through. Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam delay. Thank my stars for every green. You have no idea what it means. No, to a man who's always traveling, who's seen the things that I've seen. I don't know what's yet to come, not sure of anything that I've done. really makes that much difference. Well, I hope it has for some. Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way. Yeah. With no big red sign to stop me. No traffic jam today. Well, I was driving over the moon. In my big hot air balloon. Floating high up in the darkness. I promise that I'll make it to you very soon. Something special happened today.
What's going on, good people? We back in the building. What's up? Salute and shout out to everybody once again, as I already said in the pre-intro. What's going on? I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. We got 64 people made it in early. Hit the like button. We about to get it in today. I know how I always do. Shout out to the early bird squad, those that make it in bright and early. Drop those likes, those comments before anybody even come in today. I always say every time I hit that go live button, I sit there and watch, because somewhere in my mind, I still think it's a possibility ain't nobody gonna show up. So every time y'all show up, it warms my heart. I get all warm and fuzzy on the inside. I mean that. So I'd like to thank everybody who's here today. You know, even I remember when the audience was small around here. Audience was real small. I barely could get 10 people in here. I just had to go with the, you know what the Bible say, when 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 niggas agree, church can take place or something like that. I don't know. Y'all read the Bible. But yes, we in here. 70 people in the building. Hit the like button. Shout out to those early birds who make it in bright and early. Abdullah bin Bobby at Tab. I think I said that right. Abdullah bin Bobby at Tab. Why, you got a Muslim name with Bobby in the middle of it. Why y'all be doing that to me with these YouTube names? You're just gonna put Bobby in the middle of a Muslim name. That's just weird. Cajun Red in the building. Were you one of the black women who was missing during yesterday's show? During election coverage, when we were talking about black men voting for Trump and black women angry about it, we noticed there were some usual suspects who were not in the building. I can't remember if you were in the building, but there's a lot of usual suspects who came up missing. Had to go vote for Mala, didn't you? You went to go vote for Kamala, didn't you? Tell the truth. Like Will Smith, tell the truth. Zodiac Chronicles says Trump 2020. Yeah, right. I don't believe it. We don't believe you. You need more people. No, she looked like she voted for Big Mala. Talking about some Trump 2020. She knows she went in that booth, saw Kamala name on the ballot, and did a you and me will never fight, and then cast her ballot. she did the color purple thing with Mala through the ballot, and then casted that shit. That's what people who think Trump going to enact every aspect of the Platinum Plan for black people. That's what they thinking. That's what they doing. They going in there. They clicking their heels together and repeating, "There's no place like Wakanda. There's no place like Wakanda," and then cast their ballot and then cast their vote. That's what pro-blacks who support Trump doing in there. All right. All right. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I got to shout out the rest of the early bird squad. 100 people in the building. Hit the like button. Enigma Inc. says, peace, everyone in the chat room. Peace to you. Tampa Supreme says, Biden got it. I don't know. You don't know. You gotta look at that map and see where Trump is leading. Biden got more right now, but I think it's like 6 states that still, can't exactly be determined. Trump got 4 of those states. And if he get the electoral votes from all of those states, he got it. Biden only got a path to victory if he steals at least one of those states. And he may even need to steal more. I'm gonna pull up the map and break down the math. I'm gonna do what they be doing on CNN, playing with the map. I think I got it figured out how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to present all of that just right to get down to the bottom of it. And SKC in the building with his very famous, at least to me, because I think I'm the only one that noticed how sometimes very on point, but sometimes very ill-timed, he will let out a uh-oh when somebody make a point that's a good point, but sometimes he will even do it when it's like an average point, which takes the sting out of the uh-oh. But I know what he's doing. Uh-oh. That's a SKC do that uh-oh when somebody is on the brink of a good point. The Mac the Trucker in the building. This is something I highlighted earlier. He says, Lucky Sports says, Bevelin Beatty. I don't know these folks' names, but I know who they are. Okay. And oh my goodness. Enrique Torres were stabbed by BLM and Antifa. Do you know if it was BLM or Antifa? I don't think you can say BLM and Antifa. You got to say BLM or Antifa. Pin the charges on who did it. Even though they are merging together, you got to pin the charges on who did it. Don't charge up BLM don't put a body on BLM. Don't put an unwarranted body on BLM. But it's very possible. Very possible. I can see it. But he says they are coming for minority Trump supporters. Get the strap. I don't know that much about that, so I can't really comment on that. I may look it up live on the show, but yeah. Young London too says he wanted Trump to win. It looked like he got it, tell you the truth. It looked like he got it. I fell asleep last night. I heard Trump more or less claimed victory already, which I would expect him to claim victory early. American Negro in the building says, please hit the like button as you enter the chat. Also subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Also support your interest via Cash App. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. American Negro, the man with the very suspect wrench that I didn't want to give you, but you posting my links. You're trying to earn your keep around here. I was like, okay, still talking shit to you. But shout out to you. Thanks. I appreciate it. Enigma Inc. What state did this happen in? I believe that was Georgia. I don't know. Find that out from him. We'd like to thank everybody who making it in here bright and early. Sister George, don't come in here talking about good morning, because whenever you show up, it becomes a bad morning. So don't say good morning. Don't do that. No, not a good morning. You're here. All right. Biden had Hunter deliver 200,000 extra votes in Michigan, but Hunter's he used a vote. He used it as weed paper and just rolled it up and smoked it. Oh man. He says, old man says, Bernard Riley, not to worry. I got something for them pro park apes if they come over here. I said before that when all that rioting was going on real heavy in Philly, probably still is. I haven't been even paying attention. But when all that rioting was going on pretty heavy in Philly, I said Obsidian up there on the 3rd floor, and they running up the wall of his building like the zombies in World War Z. they running up the wall like they was doing in World War Z. So there's that. That's my vision of what's going on over there with you in your hometown. But shout out to good men in the building. He says Michigan got flipped, bro. Trump is losing. Biden doesn't even need GA or PA. Yeah, it looked like he about to take Michigan. John James, who I shot out yesterday or the day before. I forgot which day. I'm getting confused with my days now. John James won, the brother who is a businessman, runs a multi-million-dollar company. When I go and look at all the imagery of the plant that he owns, it's called Global Renaissance something. Go look at all the images of it. I see mostly black men working for him. This is brother. He's the company is worth $134 million. He's running for Senate. He took down Gary Peters, a Democrat who's been there for 30 years. He took him down like 55. He got like 55% of the vote to Gary Peters, 43% of the vote. That's an ass kicking. So he came and he ran the white man out of town here in Michigan. So I mean, got to give a salute and shout out to that brother, accomplished brother, veteran. You know, just stellar, absolutely stellar record. He won and kicked ass, and he's in there. I mean, it's no other way to say it. He's presidential. This brother, he gives off a lot of Barack Obama energy, but he's all the way black. But he's with a white woman. But I don't think that apparently didn't hurt him with Republicans. You know, apparently a lot of Republican white men didn't give a damn that this brother was with a white woman. So it'll be an interesting experiment to see how far he can go politically. But he is absolutely the man. There's no other way around that. He's that dude. Sister George says, Bernard, stop being mean. I'm already an unwed single mother. Yeah, okay. I'll go easy on you. Your life has been hard enough. You have to walk around being you every day. That has to be stressful. That has to be hard on you, just to know that you wake up every morning as Sister George and got to deal with it. So I do need to ease up on you. All right. Y'all can finally be led by your women. Big Mama Harris coming to a theater near you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Big Mama. Sister George, who you vote for? I be asking black women who be lurking around here who they vote for. Just trolling them. Just to see what they're going to say. Who you vote for, Sister George? Let me see how much fuckery can she put in one sentence. She's not going to answer. Oh, there she go. Yeah, she kept it real. Big Mala. Okay, she kept it real. That was honest. I appreciate that. One thing about Sister George, she really don't lie. She will tell the truth and then put her foot in her mouth, but she will try to backtrack out of it, but she will just blurt out the truth. She do that too much. So you want to think about it, you can't say she ain't honest. She will try to manipulate the conversation, but if you ask her a question, she will blurt out an honest answer. I will give her that. She would just blurt that shit out. Sometimes, she would try to take the long way, roundabout way to get to the truth. Perfect Blackness in the building says, I did not vote for Biden or Trump. I actually respect that, long as you voted. I mean, some people, and I found this out, I was on a Black Rams show yesterday. I thought I was going to be on Oheen Imara, but Imara, I always get his name wrong. I thought I was going to be on his show, but him and Black Ram do collabs. So I had agreed like 2 weeks ago that I was going to do an election day collaboration with Oheen, but then it happens to be with Oheen and Black Ram. So that was pretty cool. I definitely enjoyed that over there. And there was a lot of brothers in the chat that said they didn't vote. I don't agree with that. I feel like you do have to vote, but that's the reason I said I respect what Perfect Blackness did and what Black Ram did for that matter, because he put it out there and said that he didn't vote for Biden or Trump either. He voted I don't know if he said he voted Green Party or the I forgot. But it's important to just show up and vote, because when you don't vote, you look disengaged and you don't care, so they got no reason to care about you or your demographic for that matter. But you show up and vote, but you don't vote for either one of the main parties. You do what essentially amounts to a protest vote, saying that, hey, I don't think any option is a good option, but I'm casting my vote so I can be counted. So y'all can see that I am participating in the process, and there's work to be done. You know, if every black person took that approach and just said, we're going to cast a vote, but we're not voting Democrat or Republican, that says we're participating in the political process, but you have to come earn our vote. That is actually a respectable position. So the people that vote Green Party or whatever party other than Democrat or Republican, I respect that. That you're sending a message with your vote, but you're not giving anybody your vote. That is a respectable position to hold. So shout out to you, Perfect Blackness. Well, you said I didn't vote for Biden or Trump. You didn't say if you voted. Now, if you didn't vote at all, I don't think that's a good position. I don't think that's a good position to not vote, because there was a lot of people over there in Black Ram's spot that said they didn't. I'm like, no, you got to cast a ballot. You got to participate in the process. Good. He said he did vote, just not for. Good. That's respectable. That's respectable. That is respectable. All right. Let me pull up something just for those that aren't as quick on the uptake, don't understand the map. Don't understand the map and what we're looking at here. I want to pull that up for you guys. Let's see. So y'all can get an understanding. I couldn't find my phone this morning. I don't know where the hell my phone is at, because I really need my phone right now, because I wanted to pull out a calculator to do some math real quick. Holy shit! Biden took the lead in Michigan. Uh-oh. 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 Now I gotta reconfigure my maths. I gotta reconfigure all my mathing. Let's look at this. I was proud of us Michiganders, but now I got some reconfiguring to do, because now Biden might have a path to victory. Let's see. Hopefully I can see what I'm seeing. Hopefully I can see what I'm seeing. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna get this blown up even bigger. We're gonna blow this up real good. Make sure y'all can see exactly what I'm seeing here. All right. So here's the deal. I got my calculator handy. All right. You can see Biden with 238. Let's see. Because when I woke up, Michigan was red, Pennsylvania was red, North Carolina was red, GA was red. All right. That was more than enough for Trump to win. Now I got to do some quick mathing. Okay, so let's say Biden holds on in Michigan. That will put him at 254. Wyoming, that will put him at 10. That's 264. And Nevada, ha! That will put him right at 270 on the nose. So Biden has a path to victory. And Trump with 213. Trump with 213. And he gets 20 from, hold up. Make sure I get this right. He got 213. If he gets plus 20 from Pennsylvania, another plus 15 from North Carolina, and another plus 16 from GA. Now that would put Trump at 264 and losing. So, yeah, Biden might take it. Biden might take it. Unless there's some late game comeback in Michigan. I don't see. Yeah, I don't know about a late game comeback in Wisconsin. And definitely not definitely not a comeback in Nevada. Michigan about to determine this bad boy. My home state. Michigan is about to determine this bad boy. And it's looking like Biden. Oh, wait, hold on. Ha! I forgot about them 3 little punk ass electoral votes in Alaska. Yeah, Trump get that. He'll be short. You'll still be short. Or Willie. What did I say? What did I say he was at? Yep, that will put him at 267. So yeah, he needs Michigan. He needs Michigan. When I woke up this morning, he was ahead in Michigan. Damn it, I didn't mean to have that up. Because Alaska's down there. Yeah, I couldn't see Alaska with what's the name covering it up. Yep, y'all already did the quick mathing that I did right there. So yeah, Biden is pulling ahead. He got his 270 if he can hang on in Michigan. Miss Michigan now. Well, at least Jamila Hill will be happy. She defeated the patriarchy. So Jamila will definitely be happy if Michigan determines it. Somebody says you're late, BR. I'm late? How am I late? Hell, when I woke up this morning and looked at the map, Michigan was going to Trump. I took my kid to school, got on the air, came and got comfortable, and now Michigan is going to Biden. That's what I said. Trump won last night. They're deliberately cheating. That's what y'all on, huh? Don't be ridiculous. Men love Pusa too much to vote against it. Yeah. Trying to go easy on you. We don't know. As far as just giving a serious response, even though I could have said a lot there. I want to know what the black male vote is going to be. Last night when I was on Black Ram, I said my closing words is that I hope Trump win. I hope that that they look at the data and the analytics and they determine that Trump won and it was black men's fault. And God damn it, I want all the smoke. So win, lose, or draw, I'm still hoping that black men did at least give Trump 25%. I'm still hoping that at least happened. But yeah, when I woke up this morning, Trump was winning. Took my kids to school, came back. He's not. Jay boy, even if Biden wins, he won't have a clear mandate. Republicans won the Senate. Yep, John James definitely won the Senate in Michigan. And so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm glad about that. But this is interesting, man. This is interesting. They have all 6%. Nevada is less than 8K apart. What do you mean there? Hold on. Thanks for the super chat, by the way, Frank Hubbard. Yeah. 67 reporting. I mean, it's possible he could catch up in Nevada. That's possible. It's possible he could catch up there. I see it happening less there. Nevada actually closer than Michigan now that I look at it. That's 18,000 to catch up and 94% done. They almost can call that. Yeah, 94%. That's what that means, 94% reporting. Hopefully I could see that where it says 94% reporting. Yeah, it's a 6% of the voting. That's not gonna cover 8,000. It's not. But just like we saw Michigan flip very fast, it is just possible. Just possible. That was me doing a Carl Sagan impression. It's just possible that, yeah, with 33% of the vote left and only 8,000 to cover, it's possible that that ground can be covered. That Nevada is more possible as the state that's gonna decide this bad boy. Yeah, that's a wrap too in Wisconsin. That's a wrap. Yeah, that's a wrap. That's a lot of ground to cover. Possible, but that's a lot of ground to cover. So I think they got it in Pennsylvania. I think he got it in the bag in Pennsylvania. 94% in there, so he got it in North Carolina. That's a done deal. 1690 only got 6% left to go there. So I think he got that. Oh, lowly Alaska down in the corner don't really matter, but he comfortably got that. So yeah, really Nevada is the state that matters right now. Whatever happened with Nevada. Michigan is done. I don't know that for sure. Anything could happen. But I'm assuming Michigan is done. And I know Trump gonna raise hell. I went to sleep last night. I didn't hear Trump speak. But I know Trump is going to raise hell. Everybody that's standing down and standing by will be ready to hit those streets. Oh man. It's gonna be a trip. It is going to be a trip. Black Ram 313, because you know it's therapeutic, man. I appreciate you coming on my show last night. Salute, bro, and salute to the great Black Ram. Salute to the great Black Ram. I don't even know if you got a ranch over here, but I'm about to take care of that right now. Got to take care of that right Black Ram in the building. Appreciate you coming on through. Appreciate you. Had a great time over there. SKC said, as Michigan loses, I blame Bernard Riley. Yeah. Yeah, I did my part. I voted. Maybe that chick with the orange hair that was standing outside of the line saying, all y'all voting for Trump, right? I mean, all y'all ain't voting for Trump, is y'all? Or everybody voting for Biden, right? She said something like that. Maybe, just maybe, had I cussed her out and told her I was voting for Trump, maybe that would have turned the tide. So maybe I dropped the ball right there. It was an orange-headed chick in line making sure everybody was not voting for Trump, and it was a red-head chick, Jill Scott with a big chop out there. Jill Scott with a big chop, dyed red, talking about if somebody ain't supporting Black Lives Matter, they ain't getting my vote. Man, I should have had the camera rolling on them. Should have had the camera rolling. Man, these good brothers showing love, man. Y'all showing love coming through. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Mel Enlightenment TV. Oh, and the 2 or 3 people in my chat who may very well not be subscribed to Black Ram. One of the moderators dropped Black Ram link just in case, because my link was floating all through his chat last night. Drop his link. I might have like 1 or 2 subs that ain't subscribed to Black Ram. Go get over there and subscribe. Do yourself a good service and subscribe to Black Ram. Get on over there right now. Get that done. So yeah, somebody get his link flowing through here. Somebody get Black Ram's link flowing through here. I know everybody already subbed to him. He got like 1 million subs over there, you know. He killing it. But get on over there. Get on over there. I know it's at least 2 of y'all that still need to do it. Mel Enlightenment TV in the building. He says they are trying to steal the election. You was talking about that last night. And I was like, nah, man, it ain't gonna be no bull, man. You can't get out of here with the conspiracy stuff. But it look like they on some haberdasheries over here. They look like they own it, man. It look like they own some nonsense, man. You was calling it. A lot of people was calling it. It looked like they trying to finesse this election. Yeah, man. Obsidian says Pennsylvania is the only big vote state left, and it's going Trump. But it don't matter. It really don't matter if look, he win Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, but if Biden wins every state that he's leading in, Biden wins. Like Biden, if everything stays exactly like it is, Biden will win. Trump got to sneak in and steal Nevada. That's the only path to victory. I don't even think I finished reading this. The media saw Trump's numbers going up and then stated they didn't count the early votes. That sounds like some BS. How you ain't count the early ones? They was there early. I would love for them to make that make sense. They didn't count the early votes. How, Sway? They was there early. Anyway, they didn't count the early votes, so the numbers could change. The liberals were not rioting last night. Thanks for the super chatting, man. Yeah, you was calling it. You was calling the BS last night. You was definitely calling it. My man New in the building. He says this is for some guys to get measurements for your dresses when Big Mama is POTUS. Yeah, man. Some dudes just went up to the polls and cut they junk off and casted their vote. That's what they did. Obsidian Media Network 2 says Bernard Riley, all the remaining blue states in contention have razor thin margins, but Trump's got a clear way out in front lead on Biden in Pennsylvania. I hear what you're saying, but the math is not working out for him. Okay, I think what you're saying is those other states, Biden got more of a chance at stealing those I mean, not Biden. I think what you're saying is Trump got more of a chance of taking Nevada or Michigan, or taking Michigan back, or still in Nevada, but Biden don't have a chance at taking what Trump got. I think that's what you're saying. Oh no, I'm giving it to Trump and PA, but that don't matter in the long run. I mean, you can rep your state and say, yeah, we did it. And that's a good thing. You can have that little badge of honor that your state was on point, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not Trump. That went along. That's Pennsylvania alone ain't gonna get it. Okay, I see what you're saying. He said Trump got a better chance at stealing Biden stuff than the other way around. Yeah, but see, the Biden is in a good position where he doesn't necessarily need to steal anything from Trump. He just needs to hang on to what he got. So he's in a better position right now. Trump got to steal third base right now. He damn near got to steal home base. I don't know if he got to steal home. I won't say it's that tough, but he definitely got to steal third. He definitely got to steal third. Oh man, but it's interesting. This is a wild one, man. I went to bed and Trump had a clear, easy path to victory. Woke up, he had clear, easy path to victory. Got dressed, took my kids to school, came back, Biden was winning. I was like, what in the hell? M. Stewart says some states require the absentee votes are not opened until the day of the election, hence why some votes haven't been counted. They were there early. So the votes that were coming in fast and in a hurry when people were voting, those ones, I just don't see how it logically makes sense that those ones would get counted first. I don't know. That just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So that part I don't get. City Media Network says Biden will have won only one southern state, has no win in the Senate, a packed Supreme Court, and a hell of time in the White House. He will be impotent. Very possible. Very possible, but Nevada still got a long way to go. They still got like 36% or so of the vote to be counted, and only 8,000 in space. So we shall see. Was Trump winning Nevada when I went to bed last night? Was Trump winning Nevada last night? Is that one where did Biden take the lead in that, or was he always leading in that? That I don't know. I'm getting conflicting answers. Somebody says no, it was blue. Somebody says yes. Somebody says no. Somebody says I believe so. Because if Nevada is one of those ones that Trump was leading in, and then with those absentee votes that they had in their back pocket holding back like a Trump card, and they playing spades, they got the little joker sitting there. They holding it back. So if those absentee votes are swinging towards Biden because for whatever reason Biden's people voted early and Trump's didn't, which is weird. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, what's the evidence? I always say this when it comes to conspiracy theories, you got to call it a conspiracy theory because there's no evidence for it. If it was evidence for it, you would just call it a theory and drop the conspiracy. So that's what I always said about conspiracy theories. But I do see things that challenge my views on that. I'm you know, Carl Saganist in that sense that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So I'm like, what's the evidence? Somebody said that the Twin Towers situation that was an inside job. When people say stuff like that, okay, where's the evidence? That is a huge claim to say that a sitting president um, wiped out 3,000 citizens. That is a huge claim. You need huge evidence for that. I'm a where is the evidence type of person. Correlation doesn't mean causality. So I'm not so quick. Oh, somebody said refresh. Good idea. Refresh my map. That's a good idea. What an original thought there. No difference. Yeah, no difference. Yeah, I can't see that. I can't see that changing at all. Oh yeah, that did change. I mean, not the vote count changed, and the separation, but the separation is equal. Is exactly where it was at. Obsidian, was Pennsylvania always red, or was it formerly blue? One interesting thing with Michigan, Michigan has always been blue, but last election, yeah, I agree, Obsidian. It will be hotly contested in court. One thing about Michigan, Michigan has always been blue, decidedly blue, but last election, Trump won by a very small margin in Michigan. And then so I looked at this election when Trump was winning in Michigan. I was like, hey, we're officially a deciding swing state, that goes either way. If Trump would have pulled out and won this one, we're a state that went from blue to red, but we ducked in there with red. And there's that. Oh, what happened with Gasoline Maxine? Is she still standing on that chair waiting for somebody to kick it, or did it get kicked? Is she out in the pasture yet? What happened? What's going on with Gasoline Maxine? Dropping that link in the chat. Anybody else want to? Dropping the link in the chat. Saying Gasoline Maxine held on, huh? She ain't ready to go on and pack it on in. But John James took down Gary Peters, who was the Democrat who was holding that seat for 30 years. So I was glad to see that one. But Gasoline Maxine still holding for it, still holding it down over there. Well, probably it's looking like she's going to win. But either way, we got Mumia Obsidian Ali in the building. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, another day, another day, another day. It's looking tough, man. Trump in a dog fight right now. He in a dog fight.
It's getting kind of hectic.
Yeah, yeah. What you think gonna happen in the great state of Nevada? You think
It's still very much in play. It's still very much in play. We can't call it yet because it's razor
hmm
thin. You know, in my home state, Trump's got a 10-point lead. So I'm calling it for Trump for my home state. The proud Commonwealth of Pennsylvania goes for Trump. Now, my thinking is this: when's the last time a Democrat presidential candidate won Georgia and North Carolina? When does that happen?
mm, I couldn't tell you.
He's not gonna get those states. It's close. I'll grant you that, but ultimately, on the basis of history, they're gonna go for GOP. Biden has only won one southern state, and that's a de facto northern state in Virginia. He ain't won no old South, deep South southern state, not one other than Virginia. That's all
Right.
he's got. You look at the rest of the country, look at the flyover country, the flyover states, none. He's got the Great Lakes states. He's got them. I'll grant him that. And of course, he's got the West Coast and he's got the East Coast. But he doesn't have a clear mandate. He will be a toothless, impotent, can't get it up president. He'll go from Sleepy Joe to can't get it up Joe. He ain't got the Senate. The House is hotly contested. The courts is against him. All the state houses that matter, GOP, won't be able to get anything done.
Mm. Yeah, it should be interesting. Hold on. Pablo said Pennsylvania. Well, no, Pablo, you got that wrong. You said, hold on. He said, slow your roll, Obsidian. Philadelphia is only at 56 precincts reporting. I think,
According to the AP, we're using the same map, Bernie, which is good. So we're coming from the same source. According to the AP, 64% of the vote in Pennsylvania is reporting. Donald Trump, 54%. Joe Biden, 44%. So that's a 10-point lead.
yeah, it's hard to cover 10 percentage points. That's hard.
Yeah, he ain't getting that. He ain't getting that. And he's not getting Georgia, and he's not getting North Carolina. Just looking at look at the map. Look at the projections here. He only got one southern state. He's lost every major battleground state: Ohio, Florida, Pennsylvania. Now, you can be a Democrat and lose Ohio. It's been done before. But can you be a Democrat and lose Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Florida? Can you do it and lose all three?
Boy, boy, boy.
See, that's the question. Can you become president and lose all three key battleground states?
Well, he can become president and do that, but you're saying how effective can he be as president?
Not just the latter. I'm talking about the former. When's the last time a Democrat presidential candidate has lost all three? Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Florida still got elected, and he lost all three.
We might see it. We might see it today, this year, or whenever they get done playing around with the ballots. This might be the year that we see it, unless he pull a flea flicker. Well, I don't know if to call it a Hail Mary, because I mean that's not. We talking 0 point. What's my math? Bad mathing going on here. Like less than 1%. Talking about a less than 1% gap that Trump got to close in Nevada.
And I see the brothers in the chat room saying, "Well, you just gotta accept that vote." See, I know what it is. It's the juicy juice vote. I get it. I get it. See, what I want is going to cut out a lot of brothers from that gravy train to that Section 8 pussy. I get it. You got to pay for your own pussy, brother. That's how that works. And I get it. A lot of brothers they like the welfare state because that means they get free. But no, You got to buy your own juicy juice. Now we see who's who. There was already protesting last night. You didn't see Republicans out there protesting last night. Who was protesting last night? That tells you everything you need to know right there. Trump going to win this thing. And we're going to have cuts. So all y'all homosexuals and Juicy Juice brothers, the Pookie and Ray Ray vote, y'all might as well just get ready. Y'all might as well just get ready.
I don't know. What do you think about this concept here, hypothetically? This is what I'm seeing. Biden, let's say Biden hangs on in those states and he wins, okay? He hangs on in those states and he wins, but they look at the black male vote. I think it's possible it still could be over 20%, maybe 25. Let's just say that.
I'm going 20 and up, easy.
Okay.
20 and up easy.
What do you think what do you think will be the next move as far as do you think Democrats are going to actually wake up and say, like, okay, we're losing black men, we need to figure out something, or are they just going to assume that, hey, they just liked Trump because Trump was cool, they'll be back in line next election?
No, they're going to double down on it. They're going to double down on blame black men. We know the playbook from the left. We know what black women are going to do. Black women have made it clear they're going to die on this hill. This is the hill they're going to die on. We've tried to be reasonable. We've tried to be statesman-like. We've tried to be, we tried to be diplomatic. We've tried to bring peace and not a sword. Black women have showed us what they're going to do. So now we got to do what we got to do. Black men have turned out in significant numbers, and you see the results.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the map. I mean, your man up there in Michigan, he flipped that thing.
Yeah.
So, where we go from here? Oh, we're just going to have to just. You're only magnanimous to people that you utterly defeat. So I've learned we can't be magnanimous to black women on this. We got to utterly break them. Then we could be nice again. So what this means is that brothers, me, you, the rest of the black manosphere, etc., et al., we got to fund the hell out of our operations, get them as slick and refined as possible, organize our own stuff, form our own PACs, support our own local candidates, form up our own lobbies, and break the back of the black female hive mind, black boy female hive mind, the Democrat Party, and the welfare state. We got to break its back. Like Bane broke the black man's back.
One interesting thing that just happened when I refreshed, it was 49.4% for Biden, 49.1% for Trump. That just changed to 49.3%, and
right.
It went from, and then that's for Michigan, and it went from as far as the total vote count, Biden had like I think it was 18,000. I think it was like an 18,000 lead. Now it's down to slight little less than 10,000. So some ground has been covered. Some ground has been covered or made up. So we shall see. We shall see. If he sneak in there and take Michigan, it's easily over. Or if he could catch back up.
It's within the margin of error, man. I mean, Biden's got a harder time to win this than Trump. Trump's going to take Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Florida. He's going to get them, and Alaska. So it really comes down to Wisconsin and Michigan. It comes down to those, and I would say Michigan, because Michigan is the big get of the two, 16 votes. And that's
he can just do it with Nevada. I mean, he's out of those three remaining blue states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, you only need one of them. It don't matter which one. It don't matter which one. So
and I'm already calling it for Trump on Pennsylvania North Carolina, Georgia, and Alaska. He got it. He got that.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. He definitely got those. He just got to still one of the light blue states on the map, and just, either one, anyone will do.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone will do it for him. So
Yeah.
Michigan, he gaining a little bit of ground. Nevada is more up for grabs because they only had like 67% of the votes being collected. So
But
we should see.
let's go for our Pookie and Ray Ray contingent, because they're saying, well, y'all got to get used to Mama Kamala. I get it. So let's look at this. Let's look at the aftermath. Let's say that Biden by the here is Chinny Chin Chin pulls this out. Let's say that's true. Again, let's look at the map. He doesn't have a clear mandate. He won't have a clear mandate. He has the coasts, the Great Lakes states, the Southwest, the West Coast, and Virginia. He doesn't have the South. He doesn't have the Rust Belt. He doesn't have flyover country. He doesn't have the Great Plains states, other than Colorado. He ain't got Texas. He doesn't have Ohio, Pennsylvania, or Florida. He doesn't have the Senate. He's got a major situation in the House. Doesn't have the Supreme Court. Doesn't have the state houses. How is he supposed to rule? You tell me. How's he supposed to rule?
Well, before we get into that, our stalwart in the building with a super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He says, we've been waiting 4 years for cuts. He says it ain't happening.
Well, actually, it has been happening little by little. See, a lot of brothers don't understand how American government works. This is an incremental thing. It moves like a glacier. It doesn't move like, Star Trek at warp speed. That's by design. We want to just take this death by 1,000 cuts, not one big, atom bomb. All we have to do, that's why I say cuts with an S, plural, than just cut one time. Look at the situation with Planned Parenthood. Defunded. We just got to keep, I don't even want to get rid of Roe v. Wade, tell you the truth. I just want to defund Planned Parenthood because I already know how black women think. They're about the do-re-mi. Make them pay for them to get their freak on. Then we'll see just how strong and independent they are. Make them pay for it. They want to do it, they got to pay for it. What do you think all this get the bag and all that for? They want to get up in your pocket. Make them pay for it. They want to get abortions, great, you got to pay for it. You want to suck and fuck losers, great, you got to pay for it. You want to go and deal with all these fuck boys and all the rest of great, you got to pay for it. You want to be strong and independent, good, you got to pay for it. You can do whatever you want to do, you just got to pay for it. Then we'll see what's what.
Perfect Blackness in the building with a super chat. He says Trump will win GAPA in North Carolina. He only needs one of either. Yeah, Wisconsin, Michigan, or Nevada. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to get one of them. You got to catch up in one of them. That's what it's coming down to. The tide got to turn in one of those states.
So let's look at it. With Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia out of the picture, Biden will have to get both. He's got 32 left. He's got to get Wisconsin, Michigan, and Nevada in order to take this thing home. He's got to do it. I mean, there's no way around it for him. The only path he ain't getting Pennsylvania, he ain't getting Georgia or North Carolina. Not going to happen. So only way forward for him is Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada.
Yeah, Frank Hubbard in the building with a super chat. He says Philly always and Atlanta are being shady, though. Said they're being shady. Hold on, let me scroll up to something that I saw in the chat. I saw Game Changer come in the chat and drop a question mark. I don't know what that question mark was about. I'm hoping we still not confused on the AM PM effect, because I thought we was decided on a night show because you put a question mark if you. I don't know if you thought that right now we were supposed to be going on. email me. Let's try to get that figured out again. I said I was doing a double hitter. You were the night. You were supposed to be getting it in on the night show today. So hopefully that question mark wasn't referring to that. Email me, let me know. We'll get that worked out. We'll get that worked out.
If you look at the map right now, the big heavy is Pennsylvania. 20 electoral votes. You got it. If you're either on either side, that's pretty damn good. That's a peach. 20 electoral votes, that's a peach. That's a force multiplier. With damn near 65% of the precincts reporting in my home state, with Trump at a 10-point lead, do we really honestly think Biden is going to overcome that?
No, he's not. And I think the argument is that he doesn't need to overcome that. He just has to hang on to those three light blue states on the map that he's winning in. He don't got to take he don't have to take Pennsylvania. He don't got to take North Carolina. He don't have to take Georgia. He don't have to take none of that. He just got to hang on to what he got. Trump got to steal one of those states in order to win. One of those light blue states.
So Wisconsin, 10 votes. Michigan, 16 votes. That's 26. Nevada is 6 more votes, right? So that gets him to 32. Bang, right? But here's the problem. Wisconsin and Michigan, they're going to be contested. It's too razor thin. It's too razor thin. It's going to be contested.
All of those are thin enough to be contested. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, but the other states. But the reason why I'm saying Georgia and North Carolina going to flip for Trump is because they're it's the South. When is the last time a Democrat has won both of those states in the presidential election? I can't even think of it. Look at the map. I would go along with it if it was if the South were hotly contested, damn near dead even between Trump and Biden. Then I would say, yeah, he's got a shot. But he's only got Virginia, man. The South doesn't like Biden. They don't. He can't do it.
He said in the building. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. He says, good morning, old man in Bernard. With the death of Section 8, that will be the rebirth of scant houses and pimps and high quality female legs for sale at a real low price. God damn. Right.
A booty clapper in every pot. That's change we can believe in.
Oh shit. All right. Shout out to Seti said, appreciate you. Goddamn booty clapper in every pot. I think I missed somebody. I'm gonna go up and try to catch it. Black Uru in the building. He says, I sure as hell bought my juicy juice 29 years and counting. Goddamn. Niggas stocking up on juicy juice. All right, the juicy juice troll manosphere gate on standby. No. Indigenous TV in the building. Appreciate you coming through with the super chat. He says the AP map is inaccurate. Biden doesn't have 238 electoral votes. As of 1 a.m., it was 232 to 227. Trump, he won North Carolina.
So if it's 232 for Trump and 227 for Biden, oh man, you give Trump that Pennsylvania and Georgia, boom.
All right, based off what we got, what we're looking at, let me make sure I got all of my super chatters out the way. Thanks again, Seti said, appreciate you. Let me make sure I do that because I feel like we have to keep revisiting the map because the way it's standing, assuming that this map is accurate at 238, assuming that this map is accurate. All right, let me pull up get over here. All right, so 238 plus 6, that's 244. Go over here. plus 10. That's two. That's 254. Plus Michigan's plus 16. That's his 270. That's his 270. If he
That's
just
right.
wins, then I'm talking about Biden. If that's his 270, if he just hangs on to what he has. However, if somebody said that Biden only got 227, and I don't know where he's getting that from, then he don't got a clear path. He don't got a clear path at all if he only got 227. But he got it based off this map. Biden has a clear path.
But see, the trick is, if you win, how do you win? See, look at the map. How is he going to govern the country with that setup? I'm talking about Biden now. Look at the map as it currently is. Let's say, for the sake of argument, he gets Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada. That means he's got the East Coast, the West Coast, the Southwest, the Great Lakes. That's it. And Virginia. He doesn't have the South. He doesn't have the Rust Belt. He doesn't have Texas. He doesn't have the flyover states. He doesn't have none of that. How's he going to govern?
It'd be very difficult for him to govern, but he will have the win. That's the thing. So there's that. I want to find out what map are they talking about where they saying that that Biden does not have 238. Rob Mash Nation said if Biden wins, masculinity is destroyed. LGBT laws. Yeah, they'll get a little more leeway to put in a little more BS. I think Biden did pledge his support to them. I don't know how that's going to manifest if he wins, but he did. I did see something where he did pledge, his undying loyalty to the LGBTQ.
Now let's play this out on another level, because Wall Street Journal is already reporting that the GOP is already contesting tampered mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania. I knew this was going to happen. In Montgomery County, that's right outside of Philly, there are 1,200 mail-in ballots that have been tampered with. You're not, by election law, you're not supposed to mess with the mail-in ballots until election day. So the GOP has already brought lawsuit here, and that's this situation in Pennsylvania only got like 65% of the vote already in. So you know what's going to happen in Wisconsin and Michigan. You know what's going to happen. GOP going to bring lawsuit. Now think about this. Who's got the appellate courts? Who's got them? Who's got the state housing? Who? Our man John James just won Senate in your home state. Yeah. So if it comes down to a repeat of Bush v. Gore, who's going to win that? We just got finished putting in Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court. Who's going to win?
Yeah, it's possible that he could take it in the final hour after some disputes and figuring out the odds and the ends and recounts. And listen, Trump is going to exercise everything at his disposal. He's going to go for it. He's going to try to sue the pants off the goddamn country before he just sit idly by and just concede defeat. So there's that. So yeah, Trump, we know he's gonna keep charging forward, fighting down to the last iota.
My point is that either way you look at it, Biden is weak. Either way you look at it, he comes through the door weak. He doesn't have a mandate. He doesn't have allies to get anything done. The only real ally he's got is Kamala. Black men hate Kamala. They hate her with the heat of 1,000 suns.
Looking at it, see 481 people watching, only 160 on the likes. That is ridiculous. Come on in and hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe and bang that bell to get all my notifications. I typically go on Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. ish. Be on a little bit of CP time. I'm working on it. But yeah, right around 9, sometime between 9 a.m. ish. is when I go on. So yeah, hit that that subscribe button, bang that bell, hit the like button, do all of that good stuff. Good people, let's get it. See, good. We just bumped up to 200 on the likes instantly. I appreciate that. Indigenous TV back in the building. He said Red State is reporting video evidence of ballot tampering in Arizona. Interesting. That's as of 9:35 a.m. That is interesting. It's going to be some mess. That we know. That we know. This ain't none of this is going to nobody's going to go quietly into the night on this one. So no, it's going to be some mess. It's going to be some mess going on as far as the whole process of dotting every I, crossing every T, turning every stone to make sure you get it right. All of that, that's going to be a thing, and we know absolutely positively that I won't say absolutely positively. I know there's going to be supporters of either side that are going to be taking the streets with some nonsense. So it's going to be some chaos going on behind the scenes and out front, live and direct in public. So it's going to be a wild one. It's going to be a wild one.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
going to be a wild one. Red Sings the Blues. Hold on, real quick. Red Sings the Blues in the building. He says, love to do that one-on-one with you, Riley. This election cycle is really crazy. Everything is suspect. I told you to shoot me an idea that I'll review and check it out. And, so yeah, just email me something.
now,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, now let's look at the map again. Let's think about this. There's a reason why Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, and a few other key states are so important in elections. Why? Look at the map. You cannot just be a straight up, especially if you're on the left. So you can see if you study presidential elections, Republicans have always won more than Democrats. Because the country is inherently more Republican than Democrat. So if you're a Democrat, you gotta take red states in order to be viable. Think about the last Democratic presidents who are really effective: Kennedy, Clinton, Obama. All of these guys have in common one thing: they all took key Republican states in the elections. They just can't win on the coasts and maybe one or two southern states. They got to be competitive in the South. They got to be competitive in flyover country. They got to be competitive in Texas. They got to be competitive. You can't be an effective Democrat president and only do what Biden's doing. You can't do it.
Yep. Perfect Blackness is in the building with a super chat. Appreciate you. Well, I'm trying to get my chair set up right. I'm tangled up under some cords under my desk. Bear with me for a second while I get this right. But Perfect Blackness in the building. He said black men have already had a heavy impact on this election. We turned this election. We need to unapologetically put our issues on the table.
Here. And I say it starts in the home. Black men have got to reassert their unquestioned authority in the home, period. And we have to get behind policies and procedures that will strengthen, not undermine, the black man in his own house. We got to bring these broads to heel.
Well, you know what's interesting about that, the way that you put that? Because you said something interesting, that you said white men more or less don't look at their relationship with their women as just an interpersonal thing. They look at it also as political.
That's right.
And whenever black men start talking like how you just talked right there, a lot of times the counter argument it gets goofy where, oh, you don't know how to control your bitch. you know, you don't know what you're doing. You ain't got your holes in order. You ain't, it's like it turns into a goofy conversation where it just turned into a pissing match over who's getting the most ass and
Exactly.
it turns into that when you try to think in terms of political. Now the effery in that is that the same people will turn around and then criticize black men and say, "Oh, well, look at what other men are doing. Other men are more organized and they lead at that high level. So they women get in line because they have to. Oh, so when black men are doing that, y'all want to then turn around and shame them and say, you just ain't got your metaphorical pimp hand strong enough."
Exactly. So you have to ask this question. This is the perfect blackness makes a powerful point. We had a marathon last night. I was up to like damn near 2:00 in the morning. And has some excellent brothers on the panel. We're gonna do it again tonight.
Yep, I heard some of that because after I got off with Black Ram, it was almost midnight when I got off with him. I listened to y'all a little bit and I fell asleep. I fell right to sleep. But I was doing some good things. It was a great conversation.
It's a replay, and we got some good things going. We're gonna be moving forward. The deal is this. You made a really good point. White men don't see even look at the pickup piece, game and all the rest of it. Look at how, and we can all see this. Look at how Rollo Tomasi, Richard Cooper, entrepreneurs, and look at how they move. They don't move individually, man. They move as a team. But see, over on the black side, black men are expected to move individually. Now, why is that? You just got finished saying it. Black women are behind this. See, black women understand the power of collective action on the part of black men. But they skillfully use and manipulate it psychologically when it suits them. It's like what Malcolm X said famously one time. The white man stabs you in the back and then calls you a cripple. Okay, he breaks your leg and then calls you a cripple. Black women undermine black men's authority, then blame black men for why their authority is undermined. You just said it. If you're having problems with women on an individual level in Black America, it's seen as an individual thing. Who leads that? Black women. Little dick energy, for example. You don't hear white women saying that. Think about it. You don't hear white women saying that. Black women say stuff like that. And who parrots those talking points? Who? Select fuckboys do. Derek Jackson, anyone? So then, as you rightly pointed out, then when black men's authority, which begins in the home, is weakened on the larger level, black women then turn around and say, like a Cynthia G, oh, y'all ain't doing nothing, y'all ain't building nothing. See, what black men have to do, particularly the non-select guy, you talked about it yesterday, the average rank and file brother, you have to accept your place in this thing. Too many black men are in their own way. It's not the same as black women, but in their own way, they're kind of delusional. I talked about this last night. As a matter of fact, I don't think you heard it, but you can go back and hear the replay in the early part of the show, the first hour or two. I talked about this last night. You have to accept where you are in this. See, I understand as a non-select guy, I can't do this alone. See, if you're a select guy, you can do pretty much everything on your own, insofar as black women are concerned. But if you're a non-select guy, teaming up with others is the way to roll. You got to get other people to help you, and you help them. And black women understand that. Why do you think they moved on me, man? 3 years ago, I was number one on their list to get booted out of here. They see me and black men like me, you, Bernard, and black women, they see us as a real threat. 3 years ago, it was on YouTube. Today, it's on the national political stage. They understand what's at stake here. The only ones that don't really understand what's at stake here is us. We have got to unite. And I say it's a very simple platform. It's very simple. Lots of the things that the Republican Party already talk about is already tailor-made for us. We don't even need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to do it. It's already there.
Yeah.
Traditional values helps the non-select guy. The traditional values help the select fuck boy.
Well, I'm glad you said that. That speaks to something that that ARC said in the Beta Male Revolution. I got to shout him out before I say this. Back when black people or the whole damn country really was you know, on the traditional values, the old school traditional marriages. You talk about the select fuck boys, or some people will divvy it up as separated as alpha and beta. You said the difference between alpha male and beta male back then, when everybody was on the same page, it was real small because everybody had their family, they had their woman that they were leading their household. You know, so who was that select alpha? Who was that select alpha guy? It was, you know, a little harder to measure. But then when everything hit the fan after, you know, the sexual revolution and feminism, second wave of feminism and all of that, then there came the separation between that alpha select guy versus the more, as they call it, beta or non-select guy. It became a clear separation. So you are right that if most guys are non-select, yes, old school traditional values are beneficial because, you know, then because everybody tends to be, you know, paired up with somebody, so to speak.
Right.
It's only things being the way, yeah, things being the way it is politically or socially, yeah, it's only beneficial for a smaller percentage of guys that, you know, at the top they get to play, be looters in the pussy riot, so to speak.
I'm going to
And
use Derrick Jackson again. You know me, I like using symbols that convey a point. So I want to use Derrick Jackson for a minute. Do you think Derrick Jackson is going for Trump or Biden?
oh, Biden all day. I mean, he has a T-shirt where you know how you do make his little T-shirts where he got something crossed out. It said Trump. This was back 2016. He said Trump 2016 with it crossed out and then some little slogan underneath or something. I don't know, but yeah, he made it very clear who he's voting for.
Okay, and now you know where I'm voting for. Now, I want to listen to what I'm saying now. So ask yourself this: in this very important election, are the black men that flipped for Trump in 2016 and again in 2020, are they closer to Obsidian or are they closer to Derrick Jackson?
I don't even understand that question. To tell you the truth, I gotta get where you're going, but I don't.
You
I
know
mean,
exactly. I want you to roll with your gut on this. You ain't got to go in there and take yourself through all kind of machinations mentally. You know what I'm saying in your gut.
yeah, okay, yeah, they're more like just regular guys. I would say that. Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
When I'm more like you, yeah, they're more, yeah, okay.
And that's what we got to embrace. See, in Black America, it's the exact opposite. I keep telling people, bizarro land, Black America. Black America is bizarro. White America is Superman. In white America, women vote the way their men vote. In Black America, men vote the way their women vote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you got to understand what's going on here. If you're a select fuckboy, you want that juicy juice vote. If you're a non-select guy, you want to bring back at least some degree of patriarchy. At least some extent. It doesn't have to be straight up, WandaVision, Leave It to Beaver 1950s. I'm just saying you want to reduce the welfare state, reinstate the authority of the man in the home, that sort of thing. Even on a relationship level, like you talked about your lady friend. And she said she looked up to you. She said, who we going to vote for? Now, y'all wasn't married.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. So I'm not saying you got to necessarily have white picket fence, 2.5 kids, and a dog, get married. Yes, definitely you can do that. But even in a situation like yours, you still got enough of that societal, like you talked about the other day, forced monogamy. Dr. Jordan Peterson, he got railed out on New York Times for enforced monogamy and all the rest of it. We got to have that enforced patriarchy in Black America because we know now. This is the thing Black men have got to learn how to do. The non-select guys, we got to recognize the truth when we see it. The truth is, black women writ large do not want patriarchy. We have to impose it on them from the top down, culturally, politically, economically. We have to impose it on them. And see what you said with regard to ARC's excellent book. It's an excellent book. The Beta Male Revolution, excellent. And what you said there is correct. Black women don't suffer any consequences for getting out of pocket.
Right.
What I'm saying is they can do whatever they want to do, but they got to pay for it. They got to pay the price. You want to lay up with select fuckboys, great, but you got to pay for it.
Right on, right on. Very briefly, because it's off topic, but it came up last night when I was talking to Black Ram and O'Heen. So the idea, the notion of people talking about a civil war, just real briefly, it will never happen. It wouldn't. It by definition wouldn't be a civil war. It would just be something like the equivalent of the not effing around coalition having what would amount to like a little turf war with the Tiki Torch posse of Charlottesville. And the actual government, the police force or military, if need be, will get in there to break that up. It won't be some civil war going on, an organized civil war. No, it would just be more like a little small spitter spatter through from groups on the fringe shooting at each other. That's not a civil war. That's almost like some Bloods and Crip type stuff. That
Now,
but so yeah, let's not call it a civil war. that's just too much.
but you know, I'm glad you mentioned that because there's a brother in the chat room that says, why don't you just leave black women who are not in agreement with you alone? Because it's bigger than that. It's not just you dealing in a one-to-one situation with a black woman. It's bigger than that. We got to think bigger. Sexual politics is more than just the particular woman you fucking. It goes beyond that.
Yeah, some people don't think on a large enough scale to even process what you're saying, because like I've talked about my woman, as you just mentioned, she gives me that much respect to where she asked me. She literally said, "Who are we voting for?" Like so. And on an individual level, I've done exactly what the guy is talking about. Don't deal with women who out of pocket or don't get on board. Yeah, that's the easy part for an individual to do. But on a larger scale, there are larger social issues, political issues, and all kind of other issues like that. That yeah, the individual man can navigate around it, but so it doesn't matter if the individual man navigates around it to the best of his ability, and the society and the culture is burning to the ground behind him. That so yeah, there are some things that culturally do need to get corrected, do need to get changed. There are some things politically that need to get changed.
And look at how black women from Gasoline Maxine on down. Look at how they reacted to even the prospect of black men voting GOP. They understand collective action. You cannot think about this alone. It has to be moving as a team.
Yeah, think about it. Did the Gasoline Maxine or the Cocktails with Quains, did any of them say, oh, this is the easy thing. Black men are going a different way politically. Okay, yeah, let's not just deal with black men who are going the other way politically. Conversation over. No, they went all deep into all the odds and ends and ramifications and societal outcomes and blah 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 and what's going to happen, down the road if we do this and the damage it will have on the community. They went all into that because they, at least in the midst of all their for lack of a better word, stupidity, they understand how to think larger than just an individual relationship. Now, I do like talking about the interpersonal relationships, and a lot of it do come down to the interpersonal relationships. And I agree with Obsidian when he says it starts at home. So yes, it's interpersonal, it's micro and it's macro. So when we're talking about the macro, you can't always wipe the macro off the table by making a claim, making an appeal to the micro. You can in some instances, but when we're talking about politics and policy and how people vote, no, you can't micro your way out of that one.
Now let me give you another example. All right, so last summer, I made a big stir because everybody knows I'm writing the book of Obsidian. You can see the ad for it over on my channel. Shout out to Supreme King Cooney's team, Obsidian, putting together a production team, putting together a political team. We just saw the early signs of that last night on our election day special. You can go over there. 7 hours of coverage. Knock yourself out. Now, last summer, I wrote a little article. That's the first chapter in the book of Obsidian, volume 1, called All the Crazy Ladies. It's about dinner whores. Look at what that one article did here on YouTube. Black women were beside them. I did a round of interviews on black women's channels about that one article about dinner whores. Now, more recently, last month, after watching what St. Kevin Samuels, the image guy, was doing on the same topic and watching the traction he was getting, I said, you know what, man? We got to put together a dinner whore registry. You know, sisters on Facebook went berserk just at the mere suggestion of it. What does that tell you? See, if I'm just an individual guy and I say I don't want to do no dinner whore, that's one thing. But if I get a megaphone and I put it out there and I put the evidence out there, the scientific documented evidence and proof, and then I say, you know what, brothers, we need to put our own registry of dinner whores together. Now that's something. Because now I'm putting a call to action out to other black men to join up with me and make something happen. Black women are very sensitive to that, as we've seen with this election. But see, there is one crucial element that has to be embraced here. And you said it yesterday. You said in response to the four washed up divas, the majority of black men are just average guys who are good with just getting one woman. They're good with it. They don't have to have a whole bunch of bitches. They just want one sister that they can work with. And they're good. See, that's what brothers have to embrace. See, brothers are there, but they don't want to openly admit it. Why? Because being the player, being the booty slayer, if you will, that is the default setting of black masculinity. And who made that default setting real? Black women. Black women define what is masculine in black men. Black men don't define it. Black women define it. Just like black men don't determine the political trajectory of black America, black women determine it. We got to break the back of that shit. Now you see the reason why I call myself the dating coach for the non-select guy. I am making the case it is not a mark of shame to be a non-select guy in the eyes of most black women. Why? Because we know that most black women can't choose shit. We can see the results of their choices. I'm only non-selecting black. I've proven this. I'm only non-selecting black America. Not among white folks, not among white women, not among Jews, not among Hispanic women, not among Asians, only black women. We got to flip the script. And we have to do it collectively.
Counselor Murray in the building with a super chat. Appreciate that. He said, stay away from the downtown areas. No matter who wins, people are going to wild out. LOL. He says, good morning, Burn. And oh man, good morning. And shout out to Counselor Murray. If you haven't seen me and his one-on-ones, they in the catalog. Just go and scroll down. Me and him definitely have some good one-on-ones. The brother does good work. Does great work. I love to highlight him as much as possible. City of Truth came through with a super chat. Appreciate that. Also, I know I saw Ray Clemens in the building. There we go, Ray Clemens. He says, this is how you kill that individual level point. When you watch the election last night, who did you see speaking for the black community? Yep, absolutely. Angry Man, I think I was halfway falling asleep when I got off. I ducked in, saw a little bit of Angry Man, but I think he was talking about that too as well. How all the people during the election coverage that was speaking for black people, yeah, they had black women speaking for black people. Yeah.
You know, a brother in the chat room says the following, and this is a really good point. This is what I'm talking about. This is about the election. It's not time for old man to rant about black women not wanting to give him any pussy. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a minute. When black women talk about reproductive rights, are they saying Well, this is about politics. It's not time for Brenda to rant about them dusty beta male coons not wanting to act right. When they talk about child support, did they say that? Did they talk about Roe v. Wade? Did they say that? When they talk about domestic violence, did they say that? Did they talk about all the other things that they want from the federal government? Do they say that? No. This is what I'm talking about. Instead, see, Gerard still got to get his head on straight here. If O man is not doing good, you're not doing good ultimately. But if you're a select fuckboy, all you care about is you doing good. You're not part of the team. And you know what Michael Singletary said about that? We all know what he had to say about that, don't we?
Chief Rocka in the building with the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming through. I think we made it clear that we weren't just simply talking about somebody getting some pussy or not getting some pussy. I think we laid out quite clear that the conversation was much deeper than that. We were talking about. No, I understand. But let me just lay this out. Pussy is involved, obviously, but at the end of the day, we were talking about patriarchy. We were talking about families. We're talking about traditional values, family structure. We were talking about outcomes that would ultimately make the Black community look like a damn community. Now, yes, pussy is involved, but this isn't the I'm just trying to, I can't get pussy from the woman that I want conversation. That wasn't that. At least that's not the angle I was coming from with it when I was talking about it.
But see, again, we don't have that type of understanding. Why? Because Black women have very skillfully, very masterfully won the ideological battle up until this point. Now you see them running scared because it's starting to change. Guys like me, guys like you, guys like Angry Man, etc. et al. Now it's starting to change. I keep telling brothers, we got something precious here with the Black Manosphere. Well, we got damn near 500 live viewers right now, the day after the election, at 10 something in the morning, and don't even have 250 likes. That's what I'm talking about. This thing needs to be lit up with super chats. Your phone needs to be ringing off the hook with Patreons, PayPals, Cash Apps. Because we're doing something. I was watching Roland Martin early this morning. He's got close to 250,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
They were coming undone last night. I watched the replay this morning. They were coming undone. And here you got the little ragtag Black Manosphere moving mountains.
Really quick. Somebody told me update the map. Michigan just went red. No, I updated the map and it got bluer. So I don't know what map y'all looking at. Maybe I need to go find a different map. Because I don't know what map y'all looking at.
Now there are brothers in the chat room saying that Obsidian won't save the Black community. Not true. I want to build something new. Not true. I want to build something new.
I think people use save. He just want to save the community. He just want to say that. I don't think that should be used as an insult. It's a simple question. Do you care about the outcomes of Black people? That's a really simple question. Now, save the community has a connotation that I think people associate with you trying to save some hoes. So I understand why people have a problem with that. But if you care about the outcomes of Black people, you shouldn't have a problem with what Obsidian is saying. If you care. Now, if you don't care about the outcomes of Black people, then yeah, I understand your position very clear. All of this is irrelevant. You don't care about the outcomes of Black people. You just care about, just your individual self. You got your job, you make your money, and you stick your dick in the pussy every now and then, and you happy, then oh well. But if you care about overall outcomes of Black people, then this conversation makes more sense. Cool Kamasi, I hope I said that right. Shout out to Old Man and B Riley. Shout out to you as well. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who came through. We got 500 210 people in the building, 280 on the likes, 283 on the likes. It just went up to. We should be able to get that up to at least 300. Let's make a good, excuse me, one last push. Let's get those likes up to over 300 at least. Let's get those likes up to 300. I appreciate everybody who coming through today. Like I said, if I got new people in here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Game Changer says hoes are the community. Email me, Game Changer, about what time you want to go on tonight. You pick the time, I will be there. Email me about what time you want to go on tonight. But he said hoes are the community. Yeah, I mean, you can't.
Hang on. So does he believe that the sisters in the chat room right now are hoes? Does he believe that Sugar G is a hoe? Does he believe that BAP is a hoe? I mean, let's get the Game Changer on the record here. Does he believe that Sugar G, that's in your chat room and is a moderator and a frequent contributor to you and me, does Game Changer believe Sugar G is a hoe?
I don't know if he meant that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it was some sarcasm, some joking, or if he even meant that in a negative way. Because I know Game Changer does care about the outcomes of Black people. He talks a lot about how he wants men in a dominant position and women in a submissive position, and he talks about patriarchy and all of that. So I think he's in line with what we're saying. It was just the dynamic of saving the community. Does that mean saving some hoes? I don't know. I don't know what he means by that. But Game Changer speaks more in line with what we're talking about to some degree. So yeah, he actually.
There are hoes in the Black community. I don't deny that. But what I'm saying is we got to make separation for the sisters that don't roll like that. We got to get air cover.
No, I know for a fact Game Changer agrees with that. I just gave him the link right now, so he's coming up to clarify his point. But yeah, Game Changer is normally on point with what we're saying here. I got some new super chats coming in while we wait for Game Changer to come up and clarify his point. Some more super chats came through. Let's see. We got James Hudson. He says, shout out to both of y'all brothers. Shout out to you for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. Who else we got in the building? I saw Nick Penn down there. See, we're gonna work our way down. Says Cannon Wild says, I would like to see Obsidian and Angry Man cool again doing shows together. AM is my guy. That would be fire. Salute to Bernard and the chat. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. In my estimation, these are peace times in the manosphere. I think both. I haven't talked to either one of them about this, but in my observation, both of them are very focused on their mission. You notice either one of them. Nobody is saying anybody's name on the channel. Ain't nobody beefing. Everybody seemed to be focused on their mission. So I definitely like what I'm seeing throughout the sphere. People are on the mission. So that's what I got to say as far as that. As far as them being cool doing shows together, I don't know, but everybody seems to be focused on their mission and the whole overall growth of this thing. So that's a good thing. These are good times in the sphere, in my opinion.
I don't even think Danielle George is a hoe. I think she's a space cadet, but I don't think she's a hoe.
I think she hung up her jersey. I'll give her that. She retired her jersey. She got there's a lot of she put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers. She's in the Hall of Fame, but I don't think she's a hoe right now. Anyway, Chris J in the building with the super chat. I appreciate that. And also my man Nick Penn in the building with a super sticker. Appreciate you. All right, and without further ado, we got my man Game Changer in the building. Let me remove that so we can see. There we go. We got Game Changer down there. What's going on, Game Changer? Go ahead and clarify your statement, what you meant when you said hoes are the community.
So basically, it was more along the lines of what y'all were saying earlier about how the women were speaking for the community when they had people up. Now, this isn't me saying that all Black women or all women in the communities are hoes, not by a long shot. What I'm saying is that from the outside looking in, the hoes represent the community. And an example of that is something you brought up, Obsidian, with the cocktail with queens type situation. They want to be the speakers of the community. Anytime a Black man read Ice Cube say something, they try to shut him down because they believe, and they want society at large to continue to believe, that they are the speakers of the community. And there's any negotiation, it should be done with the hoes. And let's be clear, most of the cocktails with queens are hoes. Does that?
Well, I appreciate the clarification, and let me move the ball forward. I'm glad you mentioned the Ice Cube piece. I said this last night's show. You can go back and listen to the replay if you like. I think one of the big lessons out of all of this, and I don't think Ice Cube saw it coming, but me and Bernard have talked about this before right here on this channel. Black women, and by black women, I'm talking about the four washed up diva type black women. I'm not talking about the sisters in the chat room. That type of black women, the loudest voices in the room, the Gasoline Maxines, the Feminista Joneses, the so-called cocktail queen, that type of black woman. See, when they said, you ain't got no sisters on the wall to Ice Cube, and he said, well, when I say black people, black women are included in that, and they vociferously disagree. See, we got to understand, and I think this is where Ice Cube and a lot of brothers are at with this. You're going to have to understand and accept when you say black people, it's a completely different meaning from when these black women say black people. When you say community, it's a different meaning from when they say community. Completely different meaning.
And that's what I mean. Like, they believe that they are the community. That's what the statement meant earlier. Now, just a little aside. Speaking of hoes, I will have one come over pretty soon. In fact, he should be here in like 5 minutes, and we're gonna set up. And I'll do, not during your show, maybe like an hour or so. I'm gonna do an interviewing with a hoe. Now, I'm not certain if she is a hoe because there's a language barrier here. But it's either going to be interview with a hoe or interview with a local, Dominican woman. But either way, it should be interesting, and maybe that'll be in a couple hours or so.
Yeah, cool. Cool. That sounds interesting. I definitely be looking forward to check that out. While I got you here, what time is a good time for me and you to set up that one-on-one tonight?
7 my time is good. The time you have now, you have it set for 6 your time, 7 mine, right?
Nah, I think it's set for like 10 or 9 my time. That would be 10 yours. So I can work around. I can work around you. I mean, I'm not trying to bump heads be on at the same time as Obsidian. Does 9 my time, 10 your time work good?
That'll work. I mean, well, if not, I'll email you because there's places here that you have to be in because they're quarantining they're quarantined too. So if you're not in certain spots at a certain time, then they'll just lock you out. So I'll check on that.
All right, yeah. Let me know
here. So I'll check on that and get back to you definitely.
All right. So in the midst of that quarantine, you got a girl hoe coming over. Yeah, make sure she's gonna be wearing a mask but no panties on.
No, she's so the way I'm gonna set up the room is she's gonna have her mask off, but I'm gonna sit far away.
Okay.
Because I have 2 computers, so I'll monitor on one and you'll be able to see her on the other without seeing me. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna set that up.
Okay, so no mask, no panties. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And once again, she may not be a hoe. Just to be clear, so don't treat her as such until we find out for certain. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't really know what her situation is. But I did ask her to come on my show because I think she'd be an interesting draw on the show and give us a local perspective. So she may or may not be a streetwalker. Just to let you guys know.
Okay, cool. That's cool. I'm definitely interested in seeing that game changer. Reporting live from the Dominican Republic. That should be definitely interesting. And hopefully we get that time worked out tonight.
Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, welcome to hang out if you want to hang out. Well, no, you got the girl coming, so yeah, you can't hang out.
No, I mean I can hang out.
Okay.
How whitey chicks are. I mean, so
yeah. So I want, since Game Changer's here and he's kind of nibbled around the edges of what I'm about to ask right now. But now where we are, whether Biden, Trump wins, loses, what's clear is what the black manosphere, what black men can do on the broader stage to make change. So the question I have to the brothers on the panel and for everybody else is, where do we go from here? We see what we've been able to do 2 elections now. Black men have made a crucial difference twice. Where do we go from here?
Well, I think that black men are slowly learning their power. And one of the key things that Black men are starting to realize is that that Black women largely see themselves as a separate gender ethnic group, and behave as such. When prior to recent events, Black men kind of seen any aid to the Black community that went solely to Black women as a win for Black people. So basically, if somebody was to invest, I don't know, $1 billion in opening up and better education for Black girls, Black men would cheer.
Mm-hmm.
And so with Black women. Now I think Black men are starting to say, hey, wait a minute, And that was because there was an assumption that there would eventually be a willingness to help Black men. Like if Black women were to receive aid from outside sources, that they would in turn share that aid with Black women. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like if grandma gives one grandkid. Oh, that's her. Hold on. All right, hold on right quick.
All right. Yeah, mute up if you. Yeah, I'll mute you up if you. Okay, yeah, he already muted up. Yeah, I think I get where he was definitely going with that. We have traditionally looked at, Black women come up, that's the Black community coming up, so that's a good thing. But Black women coming up, as I've always said, and I will keep saying it, I don't mind repeating myself. Shout out to David Carroll on that one. I don't mind repeating myself on this one. Black women coming up, yeah, if they come up, if they're doing better, they're going to do better over there by themselves. That's saying they don't need a man now. A Black man come up, he's doing well. He's going to end up being with a woman and doing well. And so a Black man coming up is two birds in one stone. It's two people coming up. It's two people benefiting. Black women doing well. They're strong, independent, don't need no man, waiting on that man to come up to and get on her level so they can come together. Black man comes up, he don't care where the woman is at. He don't care. It don't matter. It don't matter. So that's the difference in men in a society. If men are doing better than the women. Now, in many ways, Black men are doing better than women. They just got better press. But those of them that are doing well, we see it and hear it all the time. It's the whole notion that, oh, he got to make at least what I make or more, or he got to make twice what I make. Is they're trying to operate under the same general rules of traditional relationships while operating non-traditional. What I mean by that is that they still want the man to be the breadwinner, but they also want to make their own money. And you can argue that in theory, nothing is wrong with that. But if you're a woman that's doing well and making decent money, then and you can't deal with a man who makes lower or just slightly above what you make, then only a small percentage of men are actually available to you. You're more than likely not going to be able to get one of those men because you're average looking, which means you're going to end up still having casual sex with some guy you're just attracted to. Some guy who you're attracted to who's offered you nothing that even resembles commitment, but he did give you some community semen. And so now you're strong, independent over there with kids, raising kids by yourself and ruining those kids. Because
Now,
we know the statistical data of when she raises those kids by herself.
Now, here's where I jump in. I'm completely okay with all of that until we bring in the children. Because, and aside from what you said, I'm looking at it economically. I don't want to pay for that. If those are the choices she's made, she got to pay for it. Obviously, the guy that she's dealing with don't want to pay for it, because if he did, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So she's got to pay for it. If she wants to make those life choices, it's her body, her choice, she pays. That's one position we got to take up and stick to it. We're not preventing Black women from doing what they want to do. They want to be with the, select fuck boys. Let them. They just got to pay for it. Select fuck boys are very expensive. I've talked about this already. It's going to be in the book of Obsidian. Select fuck boys are very expensive. And Black women have to pay. Then we'll see just how much they just want to be so involved with these guys. See, as long as black women ain't got to pay for any of this, they have no reason to rein in their base instincts. But when they have to start paying for this stuff, paying for the kids, paying for these dudes that don't want to hit a lick, paying for all this stuff, then they'll start, thinking, do I really want to have
damn it. Okay. There's a miscommunication. Hold on right quick. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was saying, when they got to pay for all of that, then they'll really rethink whether they really want to have a role in the hay with this guy. Right now, black women have a free hand to do whatever they want to do. And let's be clear. There are black men who like it like that. What I say to my non-select brothers is you have to accept that not only are you fighting against black women, you're fighting against a significant number of black men too. Make no mistake about it. They have a vested interest in keeping things the way that they are.
All right, Mike Chinnery in the building with the super chat. He says, black men, no one is coming to save you. I don't hear black men crying out for someone to save them. I don't know where that statement comes from, but scratching that one off the table, I don't know where that comes from. Black men, no one is coming to save you. If we don't fix our own issues, we will be lost in the sauce. Got to surround yourself with like-minded people, period. That part, I think everybody agrees with that one, that we do have to fix our own issues. That's why we talk about personal accountability. We don't blame the white man for the problems over here. It's about you rolling up your sleeves and getting the job done. That's what we talk about over here. That's what we're about over here. So absolutely. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. SKC in the building. He says more votes than registered voters in Wisconsin and Michigan. Uh-oh. That's interesting. That's some breaking news for you right there.
So like I said, it's going to be contested. It's going to be legally contested. Trump is the favorite. Either state, and more likely both. So there you go.
Yeah, that's
going back, brother. In EU, he says that these women don't want you. You're still trying to beg these women that don't want you. They don't need you. They told you they don't want you. They don't need you. He's shaking his head. No, black women need black men like me. They need me to continue to pay for their shit. I'm telling them, you want my money, bend over. If we ain't effing, you gets nothing. That has to be the position of the non-select guy. If we ain't effing, you gets nothing. No affection, no protection. Okay? No oversight, no provision. You want my money, bend over. Or you can go on ahead with your strong and independent self. You bad, sis. Go on ahead. You can protect yourself. You can provide for yourself. You can pay for the guys you like to mess around with. Knock yourself out. And we got guys on deck. We got senators, congressmen, aldermen, councilmen. We got guys on deck. Ward leaders, business leaders. We got a dinner whore registry. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. We vote. See, that's another thing black women have learned out of this. Brothers vote. Brothers do vote. So go right on ahead.
I actually looked up the data. I was trying to find it last night. I'll probably try to find it on right now while we're on the air. I'll probably try to find it. Black men actually vote more than Hispanic and Asian men, not more than white men. So yeah, brothers do vote. It is a gap between black women and black men when it comes to voting, but women across the board vote more than men. So, go figure that went out.
But among, because we know the talking points. You always compare yourself to black women. Won't you compare yourself to men, other men? Compete against other men. Okay, here you go. We vote more than other men do. And other men are more numerous than us. Let's get right to it. White men outnumber us, but we still vote more than they do. Am I wrong?
No, white men actually vote more than us. We vote more than Asian and Hispanic men.
Okay. So we got to work on it with white guys. We're working on it.
Yeah, I think we vote more than every other minority group of men.
Okay. So we got to work on it. And we know that for black women, the big cheese is white guys. All right, fair enough. We got to work on it. We got all the other guys beat. Now we just got to work on that.
Yeah. And black women don't vote more than everybody. I think they vote less than white men and white women. I'm gonna try to find those stats, but they don't vote. I mean, they vote a lot, but there's the whole they overrate black women's importance in it all. I'll put it like that. It's a little overrated. It's a little overrated.
Of course it is. But there are major lessons. You know what? I'm gonna do a show tonight on this. There are major lessons learned for this, brothers. No matter who wins, and I think it's gonna be Trump, but let's just say it's Biden. We still got big lessons out of this. We can move the needle if we want to. It's up to us. See, I gotta tell you, for the brothers at this juncture who don't want to move the needle, I remember somebody was talking about Spike Lee. I saw that shop talk that he did. I'm looking at all these dudes that going hardcore for Biden with a serious side eye. Mm-hmm. I'm asking, what are their motives? Exactly what are their motives? What this election has proven is that the issues, the motives are clear. I know what it is that I want to do. I want to make America great for non-select guys again. I make no bones about it. I may not be able to get the women that I want, but I can tell you what. I'll tell you one thing. I can prevent them from doing more of their fuckery. I can do that. This election proved that. Black women can no longer just do what they want to do anymore. Now they got to contend with guys like me. That's all I need.
SKC, check your email. You said you had some update or something you want to. What's that, Game Changer?
Yeah, I was just saying thanks for having me, man. I'm gonna go ahead and prep her and then prepare for the show. So she's not working, but she is interested in doing the show. So see you guys there.
All right, cool. Thanks. Peace, Game Changer. Thanks for coming up.
Okay, peace.
Yep. Right. SKC, I sent you the link. You said you had some updates on the election or something you wanted to put out there. People saying that they're seeing something different than what I got on this map here. I'm trying to see if other maps have something else going on. But Andy said something about, I think he's going to give an update on, I guess, his sources on the whole thing. He said about how there's more votes than registered voters or something like that in Michigan and Wisconsin. So that should be extremely interesting. So we're gonna look into that when we get SKC up here. It's hard for me to research things right in the middle of doing the show. So glad I got people on deck doing the research.
Exactly. And that's another lesson we got out of this. Black men have got to stop being so apathetic and passive. You got to get involved. You have to get involved and bring whatever assets you have to the table. For some brothers, they just got money. Great. You can write a check. Great. We need that. We need donors. We need big donors. So that's what you bring to the table. Excellent. Other brothers have skills. Some of us have excellent on-air skills. Others of us have excellent researching skills. Others of us have great graphic design skills. Others of us are great writers. We got to get involved and make the case and stop being so passive. It's one thing the sisters will never say about the old man is that I'm passive. They may be able to say a lot of things about me. Passive ain't one of them. Apathetic ain't one of them. But what would they say about you?
This is interesting. I'm looking at another map that's saying that that is looking like it may be the case that Maine is not decided. I mean, it definitely looked decided right here. But I just saw another map where Maine is light blue. Trying to see if other maps are saying something else. But we shall see what SKC bring it to the table in the event that SKC come on up, we shall see. Yeah. Trying to look up some other things while I'm doing this thing on the fly. It looked like more separate. Michigan is fluctuating based off everything that I could see here on the map. It's going up and down. Where one moment it looked like Trump closing it a little bit, then the next moment Biden is pulling ahead. Every time I refresh, I see something different. But one interesting thing that I wanted to point out, every time I refresh it, Nevada has not moved yet since we've been on the air. Michigan is refreshing and we're getting different results from Michigan. And I think a lot of the red states, yeah, those are still moving. We're seeing different numbers here. So it's like the other states are working. Nevada, the closest one, is just at a standstill and they're not reporting, showing an update at all. Like it's been right there. Those exact same numbers have been just there at a standstill in Nevada all morning. So there's like either it's like they got nobody in the office working or they're counting but not updating the data. I mean, submit the information, push enter on the computer. Give us an update. Find that a little, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I find it a little fishy that the other states are updating, but that key state, that's the closest state, is not showing us nothing. The closest one not showing us nothing. The ones that may be decided are showing steady updates. Nevada is giving no update, and that's the one that's the closest that's going to decide it. Don't mean to get can turn into a conspiracy theorist because I'm not. If you tell me there's some foul play, I need to see the evidence.
Right.
I'm a Carl Saganist. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, so I'm not just going to say they in there burning ballots just on a hunch. I'm not going to say that. However, I do wonder why Nevada isn't updating.
Well, they're several hours behind us too. So
okay. I mean, okay, well, all right, they're on the West Coast, so it's 8:17 over there. Somebody just said, yeah, they're 3 hours behind. So you're saying people not up? People should be up working at 8:17. I'm sorry.
Now, with that being said, we got to go back to my home state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. That number ain't moved.
Oh, it haven't been moving?
No, it hasn't significantly moved. Only 64% of the voters in. So, what's up with that?
I don't know, but that 10-point lead, that's too big of a hurdle. So yeah, I mean, you are right when you said it early. You can call it for your home state. I think your home state, yeah, I got that one in the bag.
I mean, I'm willing to grant Sleepy Joe knocking the lead down to 5. Okay, fine.
I'll give him that.
Then 5. I just don't see him overcoming a 10-point lead. I just don't see it. But 64% of the vote, I just don't see it.
Yeah. Hey, oh man, take the wheel for a second because I gotta run upstairs, grab some more coffee. So take the wheel for a second. You got it. Yeah, go ahead and riff about whatever on your mind. You got
yeah, it's 18 minutes past the hour. You're listening to Bernard Riley, the Grown Man Hour, her weekday mornings here on YouTube. We are giving our analysis of the elections yesterday. Things are still in play. You see the map here. We've got about 8 states left: Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Alaska, Hawaii, Nevada, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And the way I see it, Trump is going to get Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. But that won't be enough to put him over the top. He's got to take either Nevada or Michigan or Wisconsin in order to take it home. I'm declaring for Trump on Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina. He's got it. But he's got to take one of those remaining blue states. He's got to take it. My guess, the easiest one, Nevada. My guess is that if Nevada is knocked out of contention, it comes down to Michigan or Wisconsin. It's going to go to the courts. And if it goes to the courts, I'm saying Trump's got it. If it's a repeat of Bush v. Gore, I say Trump's got it. If it comes out that way. So we'll see. We will see. But there's a much bigger question on the table here. Black men have got to not lose sight of what's going on here. There's the big piece, the election. But what lessons have we learned coming out of this moving forward? Where do we go from here? That is the real question for black men moving forward. Where do we go from here? What lessons have we learned from this? You know me, I'm always looking forward, always looking beyond the present moment. So I'm thinking, where do we go from here? I think that the black manosphere is a serious game changer. That's what I think we are. We're a serious game changer. We can make or break people now. And I think we need to take advantage of that. As far as I'm concerned, what it really comes down to is whose vision of Black America will out? Will it be black women and black women identified black men, or will it be black men and black men identified black women? Whose vision will out? And it will play itself out politically now. It's no longer a question that he said, she said, barbershop talk, seminars, films, books, social media, YouTube. No, now it's going to be played out at the ballot box on the national level. Black men and black women are now in a position to determine who becomes the next president of the United States and leader of the free world, predicated on what vision will out for Black America. And I am making the case as a proud Black Republican, dating coach for the non-select guy, we have to press our claim and make our case. That is my position. Black men can no longer be apathetic, can no longer be passive. We got to form our own PACs. We got to fund our own operations on YouTube and abroad. We got to come up with our own think tanks, support our own academics, and create our own material. That is my position. I think that there will be more black male Republicans in the future. That's what I'm projecting. The 2024 elections will easily see a norm of 20% plus black male GOP vote. And so the first stage for us coming out of this election is all that I've discussed. And then we got to focus on creating space and separating the black women who do want to cooperate versus the black women who don't. Just like we got to cooperate, we got to separate the black men who do want to cooperate and the black men who don't. That's why I'm at with it. Bernard Riley is back with us. Take it away, Bernie.
Deadly River in the building with the super chat. He says this election might be victim to BFF, ballot effery fallout. Keep an eye on the hands counting the votes. Yep, that's what I was waiting on SKC to come on and talk about, how there were more votes than registered voters. That was interesting. He said that's going on in the state of Michigan and the state of Wisconsin. So I'm hoping SKC get time to come on about that. That's definitely something that I do want to cover. I think he sent me a link of the exact evidence. So if I get that, I'll pull that up. I'll put that on the screen so we can definitely check that out. But thanks to Deadly River for the super chat. I appreciate that. Before I left, I was looking at the changes, and we talked about how Nevada is 8 hours behind. 3 hours behind not 8. I don't know where I got 8 from. Now Nevada is 3 hours behind, so we're not getting the update on Nevada. That is the closest race. That is the one that's looking like it's going to decide it, because everything else looks a lot more set. So we are curious to see what's going to go on with Nevada. That's the one that we're definitely waiting on. Now, typically, how long do you think it will take? I mean, as far as the black, because they're gonna show the the demographics. I mean, it says it's going to be a while. We might not get until I don't know, tomorrow or Friday before everything is all the way done. So I'm thinking that's when we'll see the official numbers on where black men voted. And win, lose, or draw when it comes to Trump. Win, lose, or draw. That's one thing. That's a side note of it. Well, I shouldn't even say a side note. That's very important. I think you were talking about that. I couldn't hear what you were saying when I ran upstairs to grab some coffee. I couldn't hear what you were saying, but I think you were alluding to you were talking about black men and what we're doing going forward. But I'm interested to see the black male vote. That will let us know how much of an army we could potentially build. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That will let us know if that vote is over 20-25%. That will let the black manosphere know that we can build a pretty strong army if that's the case. So that's one thing that I'm definitely looking for. So I probably won't get the official numbers on that to probably this weekend, where we'll be able to see officially where black men landed, what they did, who they voted for, at what percentage rate. And so I'm definitely eager about that. Have you seen an update? I know we talked about it in the chat before you came up. You said Gasoline Maxine looked like she's taking the win in California.
Yeah.
Is that still the case? Was it close?
I believe so.
All right.
Meanwhile, King Coon is talking about voter fraud out in Wisconsin and Michigan. He just sent you an email on it.
Okay, good. Let me pull up my email right now. I wish he can come on, but we should look. I'm gonna look at it right now. Yeah, I think I might need to screen share some of this. Okay, I think that I will. Let's see. Let me take this temporarily off of the screen share. Going to lose our map for a second. I'm going to screen share my email. Open right up into that. Let's see, where are we? Possible voter fraud there and there. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me zoom it so I can see it and read it. All right. Okay, another batch of hold on. Bring that down. Come on. This thing is not acting right. There we go. But I need it a little bigger. Hold on. There we go. Now it's behaving. All right, another batch of around 50,000 Michigan votes just came in from heavily Democratic Wayne County, Detroit, and they have now put Biden in the lead by 7,000 votes. That's what we were talking about earlier, or 0.1 points. But the lead could yet grow because Wayne still has only reported 70% of its expected vote, according to ABC News. It is the main place where voters are left to report in Michigan. The state of the race in Michigan. Total presidential votes for each party so far, with 89% of Michigan's expected vote counted as of 9:03 a.m. Eastern on November 4th. Says an estimated 64K more votes have not yet been counted. Wayne County, Detroit is still counting votes. Expected votes are total expected vote totals are generated by Edison Research Estimate. Okay, that's we don't need that part. I'm not seeing anything that sounds like voter fraud. It just said another batch of around 50,000 votes just came in from heavily Democratic Wayne County, Detroit, and they have now put Biden in the lead. I'm not hearing nothing about fraud. I mean, that if that other batch of around 50,000 votes just came out of thin air, then okay, you could say that that's some a potential voter fraud or whatnot. I understand that, but overall, I just can't say that that's some fraud out of nowhere.
What this says is, like I said, this is going to go to the courts. And if it goes to the courts, who's the favorite to win?
Donald J. Donald J. Trump. He said Wisconsin, excuse me, Wisconsin counting and reporting of unofficial results has gone according to law. Our municipal and county clerks have worked tirelessly throughout the night to make sure every valid ballot is counted and reported accurately. So what happened here?
See, this is another lesson for us. You got to build the infrastructure. Trump has built the infrastructure that can help him in situations like this. Now let's look at myself, for example. Over the past 5 years, I built an infrastructure that's outside of YouTube. I got the Black Avenger. I got Mixler. I write at the negromanosphere.com. I don't even have my own website yet. That's coming. Now I return back to YouTube, and I consider it my YouTube 2.0. I just happen to have a roughly 12,000 subscriber head start this time. And just starting from scratch. You have to have the infrastructure that can help you. And Trump has that. This is the reason why I said, even if Biden wins, he's fundamentally weak. Because he doesn't have the infrastructure. Who's on his side? Obama won, but he was fundamentally weak. That's the reason why he had such a hard time getting Obamacare through and all that.
Well, I'm going to say this about what I'm seeing here. You can see how the trends and the trajectory of everything was going. See how it's moving, it's going. It's at a slight little curve, and then swoop, just jumped up really fast, and then just got back on just a normal curve. That dude, like that is a little fishy. That's a very fishy, steep bounce up in the lead right there. That is fishy. It didn't just gradually slowly creep up at an angle and gradually inch him out. It just looked like somebody typed in a number and pushed enter, and it just bumped up there immediately. So that is fishy right there. Just the way that looks. That is a little weird how that looks. And this one did something slightly similar, but you know, it's a little fishy, but you know, not overwhelming, completely damaging evidence. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
But interesting nonetheless. Hold on, SKC saying something in the chat. He says Obsidian and Bernard. Okay, hold on. I can't even keep up with. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Obsidian and Bernard. I am at work, but just look at the graphs. They are inorganic. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. They were inorganic in arc. Both happen in the wee hours of the morning. Yeah. That was sort of what I was speaking to. I didn't see that arc on the graph. I didn't see any graph. I just know I woke up. Trump had a nice, comfortable lead in Michigan. I dropped my kids off at school, came back, and he was getting his ass kicked in Michigan. And so what I see in that graph is exactly what is what it seemed like. He just instantly bumped up. So yeah, I do understand that. I understand.
So I want to ask a question. I see Brother Pete in the building. Maybe he can join us on the air. Okay, so we know that the coronavirus is ongoing. The pandemic is ongoing. Women have lost nearly 1 million jobs. It's impacted Black women and women of color most of all. I think between those factors, Black men strong showing on the Republican side, it's going to soften a lot of sisters up. I think it's going to soften them up a little bit. Move the needle on this thing. What do you think?
It will make them think. I think things are gonna be some kicking and screaming and fighting, and it's gonna be more of what we saw in the cocktails with Queens. It's gonna be more of that at first, but eventually they'll see that Black men are grabbing some independence and some sovereignty, and they'll have to make a choice. Either they're coming along with it or they're not. But at first, it's just going to be more.
I got to get brothers to think like this. You cannot look at this as a silver bullet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a death by 1,000 cuts. You got the pandemic. You got the fallout from the pandemic, the economic fallout. Almost 1 million women have lost their jobs, and this thing has no end in sight. According to professional experts, it could be another year before we see a vaccine. So we're still very much early on in this thing.
Right.
And you got the elections where Black men have twice played a pivotal role for the GOP. That's going to soften a lot of sisters up. It's going to soften them up.
Yeah, I agree. It will. It will be a difference. It will be a difference, and we are going to see a cultural change. I understand what you're saying about death by 1,000 cups. First is Corona, then is Black men going their own way politically. Yeah, that's going to definitely make some of them think. But it's going to be a lot of bitching and kicking and screaming and complaining going on. But eventually, yeah, I think it will. I think it will definitely move the needle on some of their mindset and mentality with a lot of this. Yeah, I agree.
You ever hear of there was a comic book when I was a kid. I see Pablo's here. He might know about it. When I was a kid, there was a comic book I used to read called Power Man and Iron Fist, right? And Iron Fist, he was a kung fu expert, right? But he had the power of the Iron Fist, right? It's this mystical, magical power, right, that comes from out of Asia, right? So when he's faced with insurmountable odds, he channels the power of the Iron Fist, and his fist glows. See, that's what Black men got to do. We got to challenge, we got to channel that inner pimp hand, the iron pimp hand. That thing be glowing. So when these broads start, you stop your bumper cock crying, pop. Iron pimp hand. Yeah.
Oh man. Pablo, what's going on, Pablo?
What's going on, man?
Another day. What you got, man?
I just want to explain to you the mechanics of this particular voting process, because we are in a different bit of an era, because absentee ballots, mail-in voting is bigger than it's ever been due to coronavirus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not picking a side, I'm just explaining to you the mechanics of how this is playing out. And they predicted this a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
There are some states where, Pennsylvania being one, Michigan also, where they aren't counting mail-in ballots first. They receive them and they hold them until election day. And while election day is going on, the in-person voting, you go in the booth, you select your candidate, and I don't know how it is in Michigan. Do you fill out a Scantron thing and scan it, or do you just press an electronic touch screen?
Wasn't anything electronic. We
Okay.
just filled
It was a paper
it out,
ballot.
filled it out and dropped it in a box, pretty much.
Oh, you mean for your absentee ballot
I didn't do an
or your
absentee
mail-in
ballot.
ballot?
I didn't do mail in. I went a day early and stood in line.
Okay.
So I didn't do absentee mail in. So yeah, I
So
voted
this
early
is
though.
how, right. So this is how that early vote is received and put to the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
The day of, the people that walk in and vote on Tuesday, theirs get counted as soon as the polls close. They start counting those. They don't count the early voters yet. So the first returns that you saw last night and into the wee hours of this morning, that's all that was the people that walked in and walked up and voted.
Mm.
None of that early crap is getting counted mostly until right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're waiting on. And
Interesting.
that, yeah. So not everywhere, not in every state, because here in Georgia, you know what they did? As soon as they received mail-in ballots, they were able to begin counting them. They didn't report them, but they processed them and counted them and started counting them on election day. You understand what I'm saying? Other states don't allow it, don't even allow them to process them until the close of election day, and then they go and they do the walk-in people first before they do any early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're saying, though. None of that that doesn't exactly explain that inorganic bump that we saw in with
The
SKC.
bump is because the majority of liberal voters vote early, while conservative voters tend to do what? They're traditionalists. They want to do shit the traditional way. They want to walk in, go in the voting booth, and select their candidate. They don't do it the new way. They like doing it the old way.
Mm. I
That's
can
why
see
they're
that.
called conservative. They don't want the new shit. They like the old shit.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So, but in
All
order
right.
for it to bump, in order,
I'm just explaining to you why that is a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon because of the nature of conservative and conservatism.
right. But it seemed like in order for it to bump up in that way that it did, they would have to have had all those votes counted, just not entered, but then they entered them. Is that what you're saying?
They had them in their possession. They had them ready to process, and then after they counted all of the walk-in votes, then they started processing and counting the early votes. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I get that. I get why he caught up. I don't get why it was such a steep jump instantly. Because it's
Because
safe
there's
to
so
say,
many of them.
rather
There's
is,
so many of them.
yeah, what I'm saying is rather
It's
hold on real
coronavirus,
quick.
dude. It's coronavirus.
Let me ask this. Whether it's an early vote or a late vote, I assume it takes the same amount of time to count it. So it does seem like it would be a
Not necessarily, because
okay.
here in Georgia, there are two different. The ballots are processed differently.
Hmm.
When you vote in person here in Georgia, you go and you press a touch screen on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
You insert a card into this little computer, and then an electronic ballot comes up.
Mm-hmm.
You hit the thing, and then your vote is cast electronically. There is no paper. But when you vote early, it's paper. It's a Scantron scan thing, and they have to be processed.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's interesting.
All right.
Interesting. No, good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, I appreciate it. You know, the facts are the facts, regardless of whether they're beneficial or not. The facts are the facts. So I do like you bringing in some information that help clear some things up. I appreciate that. No, so definitely that. And so that brings me back to what I said from the start that we're waiting on good old Nevada to see what's going to happen there once they start back entering some information or showing something. Like I said, 33% not reported, and only an 8,000 vote difference. If he can take that, if he can, if Donald Trump can do that, that's his path to victory right there. That's the only thing I see happening that could make it happen. Otherwise, we are looking at Joe Biden and Big Mala in the White House. There it is. There it is. He got to steal Nevada. There it is. Boy, who we got in here? No cupcake zone with the background noise coming through. I am slightly curious to hear what you got on this. You strike me as a Biden supporter. I just want to go ahead and hear your perspective real quick. Go ahead, no cupcake zone. What you got?
Man, I'm definitely not a Biden supporter. I don't know where you get that from, but I was just bringing up a point. But because he's basically an extension of the Clintons and being a Haitian. My parents were hate Clintons at all. I don't fuck with them. Period. I'm sorry to curse, but I don't mess with them. Period. But
you going in and out. You're fading away like MJ. We can't hear you. Mic check 1 2. Going once, going twice.
Oh,
Gone. All right.
oh.
I was curious what he had to say. I kind of stereotyped him as a Biden supporter, because I know there's times where he's defended himself, but he's came up here with the cape on a time or two, even though he defended himself and said that wasn't the case. And I give him respect on that. But yeah, so but he's been called a MAGA, so I wanted to see if we was going to get somebody who's going to come up and make a case for the Democratic Party. That would have been interesting, but he's not supporting the Democratic Party, and he's having issues with his Plantation Wireless. So there's that. But yeah, good info, Pablo. Good info on that one. So yeah, I'm eager to see what's going to happen. Explains. It seems to know a lot about the process. So explain, why are they saying we won't know for sure until Friday?
Because
Friday?
Well, here's why. Because they don't know if the margin between Biden and Trump with these outstanding early voting ballots, they don't know if the gap can be closed. For example, well, how many are there remaining of these early voting ballots? How many are remaining versus how many does he need to catch up versus what is the ratio, right? So the ratio is, of these remaining absentee ballots or early ballots, what percentage of them are going to Biden versus Trump? If it's a high percentage, he might be able to close the gap. If it ain't that high and it's just a little bit, then he won't close the gap. That's what they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my mom was in politics. I've sat in on election night in these precincts and stuff where they tabulate votes till in the wee hours of the morning. I've seen the process and how it works, so I understand it. My mom held public office. It was nonpartisan in the local elections, back in the 80s.
Okay, and I don't mean to make a joke about your mom, but so your mom used to work the polls. In other words,
she was on city council.
Oh, okay. I thought when you said you sat in on elections, I heard you the wrong way. I thought you were talking about with Nuruddin that was doing the other day where he said, "I'm working the polls," and I was like, "Wait, whoa, hold on, what you talking about?" But okay, but no, now I got you. Now I understood. I caught you. You said she was. You said she sat in on city council. She was on the city council.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay, cool. Great. That's cool. That is cool.
But yeah, so
You know,
I've sat around and actually watched this stuff, take place. So I kind of
right.
have an understanding of how it goes. But see, back in those days, you didn't have the numbers, the system and the laws that were written in a lot of these states weren't written for the massive amounts of early voting that we're having now. It wasn't a thing, right? So now when what you're seeing is they had laws and regulations in place in some of these states that didn't account for this particular phenomenon, where you got all of these millions of people voting early, and the processing of those ballots are delayed
Mm-hmm.
because they wrote it in to be delayed, because back then they didn't get with so many. It was usually people who were in the military and were living overseas, or they were out of the country, or they were incapacitated in some way, and so there was only a small number of them. Now they're huge numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Well,
walk-in the
go ahead.
walk-in vote in those days was considered more important. So they made a rule that no, we need to count the people that showed up first.
Mm-hmm. Well, all of that on the side. Well, no, I shouldn't say all of that aside. All of that on the table. What's your opinion? Just what's your opinion on what we got here? Who you calling it for? Who you think is going to win? What you think is going to happen given all the information?
And mm. Oh, I'm happy that my man John James went up there in Michigan. I'm glad to see that
Yeah, I am glad about that one. That is, if Trump don't
got
win,
his
that is
spot.
one silver lining for me that John James got in
But
there.
what do I think is going to happen?
Yeah.
I think Biden will probably win Michigan because Wayne County has hundreds of thousands of outstanding votes that haven't been.
You think so, huh? I can't get
Yep.
my map to get back together. Come on.
I don't know how much he's going to win by, but he's going to win by a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Pennsylvania, I think Trump is going to hold on. I think Trump's going to hold on to Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. That one definitely. He definitely got that. I'm not concerned about Pennsylvania at all. It's those light blue states on the map that my map is all messed up right now. Let me yeah, I can't even get this thing to look to do what I needed to do.
What is
But,
the margins? What is it looking like in Wisconsin?
well, I can just click on that right now. Okay. Hold on.
What you want to look at is those cities and how much uncounted, what percentage are they at in terms of percentage of the vote count
Mm-hmm.
of the precincts reporting? Percentage of the precincts reporting in those populous areas. That's
Mm-hmm.
important to know.
Hold on, I'm gonna get it back up real quick. Give me a second. Where we at? Let's see. Election results. Yeah, I gotta pull the map back up. And shit, I for damn sure didn't mean to do that. What I just did right there. But yeah, when I get the map pulled back up, we'll check it out. But yeah, it matter what counties are still counting, whether or not it's a red county or a blue county. That let you know if Trump got a wave coming in from somewhere, all of that makes a big difference. So,
Well, he gets a lot of his votes from rural America, right? But those votes are already counted.
yeah, that's one hard thing that I was noticing that he don't really. That I was assuming. I don't know for sure, but I was assuming that he don't exactly got a wave coming in from anywhere. you know.
Yeah, and see, the votes we waiting on are in population centers. That's why I sent that message to Obsidian about Philadelphia. Philadelphia was only at 50% of precincts reporting when Obsidian jumped on the line with you. I don't know where they are now, but I don't think he's going to win. I don't think Biden's going to win Pennsylvania, but you know, he might close the gap, but I don't think he's going to win.
All right, how does this work? What am I seeing here? Because this is why this is confusing, because I'm looking at Nevada right now, and it looked like it's mostly red.
Population, ain't no people there, bruh.
Yeah, everybody in Las Vegas, everybody in Reno, and this is all desert. This is all that's all desert right there, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's rural areas, like I said. It's 2,000 votes here, 1,500 there, you know, like that.
I see.
You start getting vote totals in these population centers of 120, 150,000, like that, then you know that's where the Dems tend to run up some numbers.
And that lead has widened in Michigan. All right, so here we go. It's looking the same way over here. Everything in the middle is red, but Detroit, where a whole heap of Negroes live in Detroit. So you know Detroit is blue as hell. You can see that. Flint is blue. I'm like right Saginaw, you know, you can't see Saginaw, but where I'm at, I'm like right in this little area up in here. But we mostly I don't know. Yeah, but anyway. It's like you look at it, you see all the red. It's like, hey, it should be doing great. But this probably Lansing. That's that's the capital. You know, these are the most busy areas, I suppose, is where the most people are at. So yeah, that's interesting how that plays out when you really dig into this. It's like you would think you was winning with all the red.
Well, yeah, the colors are our counties, but like I said, in those rural areas, they're low vote total. He's winning them, but there's not a lot of population in them. So what happens is these the Democrats have a lot of numbers in large urban areas. So when they start running up vote numbers, yeah, he got to win, 90%, 80% of the land mass to make up for the concentration of votes that are in these large cities.
I don't know why I'm checking in on Alaska. Oh wait.
Hey, I gotta go out and come back because I can barely hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's get not Sir Tice, P-Dat. I was wondering because he's out of Ohio, and I was wondering what he thought about the situation over there in Ohio.
Yeah, I dropped the link in the chat for P-Dat. I dropped it in there for you. You can come on up. I'll drop it again for you, P-Dat, if you're listening. You can come hop on board. P-Dat came on yesterday. Definitely.
A lot of really good lessons here for us brothers, especially in the Black manosphere, that we really need to really cogitate on and move on going forward. As a matter of fact, I'm making notes right now because I'm going to be on the air later on tonight talking about the lessons learned from all of this. We got a lot to work with here. We could, like I said, we could soften these frauds up. We can soften them up. We got the coronavirus. We got the wind at our back now. We got the coronavirus. Women have lost almost 1 million jobs. Now you got the situation with the brothers and the GOP. Now we got the holdouts. We're not going to get, the hardcore holdouts. We know that. The Feminista Joneses, the Brittany Cooperses, the four washed up diva type. We're not going to get them. Fair enough. But what we can do is we can separate them from the sisters who are rethinking this thing. Because don't think that there aren't sisters doing a serious rethink of this thing. They are.
When you say soften them up, I know somebody in the chat is probably thinking, soften them up for what? What are they being softened up for?
Well, either to join our side or to neutralize them. In other words, if they're not actively on our side, team, I don't know, Black Manosphere, whatever, then at the very least, they're neutral. They're not against us. They're not for us, but they're not against us either. We just take them out of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So either way works for me. Either they're with us or they're out of the fight. Either way works for me. I want to separate them out from the hardcore holdouts. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we have the pieces in play now. I would like to get Pablo to take on this. We got the pieces in play now to really soften them up. Because again, remember, we're in they call it the 5th or 6th wave now, but we're here and in the midst of cuffing season. It's about to get real cold in a minute. Coronavirus still in play. No vaccine, no reliable treatment on the horizon. Brothers have organized themselves to be a force politically on the GOP side. I think a lot of black women, not the holdouts, not the hardcore holdouts, the true believers. I'm talking about those sisters in the middle on the fence. They might have went along with the Democrat Party and all the rest of it, but they see the handwriting on the wall here. You got St. Kevin in play. He's doing his thing. Big get for the Black Manosphere. There's a lot of moving parts here now. As a matter of fact, my next Friday show, you know what I do? Obsidian versus the Black Love Machine, Black Love Industry. I'm thinking of doing, I don't want to go into it right now because I want it to be a surprise for everybody. But I'm going to revisit all of this, but from a different angle. A lot has changed in the past year. I mean, things that we thought would never happen have happened. So I think we got to take advantage of this situation. And we're not trying to save anybody here. We're not trying to save anybody here. Nobody's trying to save anybody here. We're making an appeal to reason. I think that there are sisters that are reasonable. Now, how many? That's another question. We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll see.
Right on. Obsidian mentioned is going on tonight at 6 o'clock. He'll probably be to some degree picking up where we leaving off here. For the few people in there that ain't subscribed to Obsidian, the link is in the chat. The few people out there that's not subscribed to the old man, make sure you go and subscribe to him. See Trey the MBD in the building. What's going on, Trey? But yeah, yeah, definitely sub to the old man. Sub to the old man. He's going to be going in on that tonight.
I do agree with Obsidian that some of this is going to be contested in court. Mm-hmm. I don't know what grounds or what angle the Trump administration, his legal team is going to use in different states, but I do feel like some of this is going to be, contested on various grounds. I think I heard this morning something about some tampering with some absentee ballots and that kind of thing, and more votes, more ballots than voters. Yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, you might see some of that. They're gonna be some of that stuff that back in the day with the hanging chads and all of that. It's gonna be some of that. I think it's gonna be definitely some contentiousness in the courthouse.
Okay, here's a funny one. Somebody with the YouTube name called White People, you would not breed us out. He says, right, NBD. If you agreeing with Trader MBD on this statement here, SYSBM is the only way. The strikes only want handouts and affirmative men. And he says, white people, you will not breed us out. You're right, Trader MBD. Do y'all see the contradiction there? Nothing wrong with Trader MBD's position, But you can't agree with Trader MBD's position and then have your fist in the air. You won't breed us out, white people, and so also support a movement where black men mess with non-black women.
Exactly.
That
And see,
individual is in a. And keep on. I want to make it very clear. Trader MBD isn't in any contradiction. There's his own. There's internal logic in his position, but I'm saying the individual who's saying right MBD does not have internal logic. That's what I'm saying. Trader MBD is cool. This guy, whoever he is, not cool because he's
but
out here.
here's the thing. But here's the thing. We have got to really get serious. See, there's a lot of black men that just want to, howl into the wind. I get it. But we're past that. See, I think black women are more adaptable than we give them credit for. Kevin's talked about this, and I agree with them on it. But for a lot of us black men in the black manosphere, we're still in a state of inertia. We're still fighting a war that's over. See, fighting a war is one thing. Ruling is something else. Being a diplomat is something else. So a real question becomes here. What do you want? So I fight when it's necessary, and I build and I rule when it's necessary, and I make peace when it's necessary. See, I think there's some brothers, man, they just want to fight.
I understand the general point that you're making, but I don't. Somebody with the name "white people," you will not breed us out, but also making SYSBM points. That's a nameless, faceless, illogical person with no internal logic. I don't want to charge brothers up and brothers in the manosphere, in the black manosphere, of being that. I'm not going to charge nobody up with that. That's that individual's own personal illogical or position that lacks internal logic. So I won't go that far. There are some people, you did mention those, and it's normally nameless, faceless chat room people who, as you say, wave the bloody flag of SYSBM. I
Yeah.
do like the people who talk about SYSBM. Shout out to MOT. He's talking about a culture and what's wrong with a culture and why he's, I get it from that perspective, because when I talk about what's wrong with this, with black culture, I will end up making a lot of the same points, and you will too. So there's nothing wrong with it from the cultural perspective, but there are some they have their bad apples. They have, Pablo pointed that out to me a long time ago. He said, we got people, when it comes to SYSBM and passport bros, we got people cheering from the cheap seats who don't got a passport, don't got nothing going on. They just ranting and raving and yelling in all caps in the chat room. So yeah, there's people like that. There's people like that, but I'm not going to charge up the whole of those brothers with being that. But yeah.
I remember I said we even got some fuckery among the bros traveling overseas trying to spread that ignorant shit that they do here, trying to knock up chicks and leave them and all that kind of crap. So yeah, we got that.
Yep. It's bad players. It's bad players. But yeah, it's
what we got to do. There's a lot of things we got to work on, and one of them is separating the brothers in our midst that are essentially not down our program. We got to get rid of them. I hate to say it like that, but it's just the truth. We have moved the needle. I know a lot of brothers don't want to accept that, but the conversation has changed. Now, the black manosphere is a force to be reckoned with. Black men have proven that they are forced to be reckoned with at the ballot box. Black women ain't going nowhere, man. We're not going anywhere. It's the flip side of the swirlers. They need to stop it. Sit down, talk, and hash it out. That's where we are here. On both sides. And there are elements on both sides that just refuse to do that. Good. We need to isolate them. Out on the margins where they belong. Isolate them. Marginalize them. Freeze them out. On both sides. Now we can't, we don't have a direct hand in what black women do. But we do have an indirect hand. So everything doesn't have to be direct. Yeah, I was going to mention something. I don't want to do that. There is a point of view among some in the black manosphere that the only way to do something is directly. That's not true.
Only
It's
way to
not
do
true.
something is what?
Is directly.
Okay.
That's not always true. You can have great influence doing things indirectly. That's what dealing with women. That's dealing with life. We may not have direct influence or control over what black women do, but we do have tremendous indirect control and influence. But that requires a different skill set. Doing things directly is different from doing things indirectly. That requires a different skill set. The challenge for black men now is, are they willing to learn something new, to be adaptable, to be flexible? That's the challenge.
Mm-hmm. About to wrap this bad boy up. Yep, I'm past that 3-hour mark, so I'm about to wrap this bad boy up, shut this down. I will be going on late tonight with a Game Changer, but before that, Obsidian will be going on at 6 p.m. Put the link in the chat for the few people that are not subscribed to Obsidian. Make sure y'all tune in and check Obsidian out at 6 p.m. EST. Also, goddamn SKC, you're gonna wait till now to show up when I'm trying to close it down. Search Heights in the building. He says, salute Bernie. Oh man, I checked an update map for Michigan and Wisconsin are going to Biden. Sad face. 77% counted in Wayne County. Nevada is pretty much Trump's last hope. Yeah. That's what I said when I first came on, and that's we went back and forth and here and there and around the moon, and I came back to the same conclusion that Nevada is his last hope. So that's definitely true. And last but not least, got to give a special shout out on the way out the door to Eagle Eyes in the building. Came through with a $20 super chat. I appreciate that. He says, hey, Bernard, there was a brother who went by DC on BGS panel a few days ago who was very confident that Biden would win. In his opinion, Trump shot himself in the foot. His insight was interesting to me. I wonder how exactly did Trump shoot himself in the foot? I am curious of that because Trump, for better or worse, love him or hate him, he is really good at just that whole political process, campaigning, saying the right thing, being controversial, but on the edge where it's an acceptable amount of controversial and shooting
Hey,
from the saying what's on his mind and all of that.
Can I respond to Eagle Eyes guy?
Go ahead real quick. Then we're gonna give SKC his first and last words, and then we shut it down. But go ahead real quick, Pablo.
So strictly from a political standpoint, the Republican Party had to have Donald Trump. Why? Because he excites the voters. He excites their base, right? Because John McCain couldn't do it, and neither could Mitt Romney. You know, they're not exciting to the rank and file everyday man in the way that Donald Trump is. He's charismatic, and in order to beat the type of charismatic leadership that Barack Obama was at the time, they realized they needed somebody with an equal amount of charisma, but they didn't have one at the time. So no, Donald Trump is exactly who they needed.
Goddamn SKC. Come on back if you can real quick. Try to make it back. I'm giving you 30 seconds to come back and say whatever it was you came up to say, because I was waiting on your show. Then you wait until I'm shutting it down to want to hop up just like a coon. But
I would say to Sir Tice, they're going to contest Michigan and Wisconsin. We all saw what Supreme King Coon posted up, and we know his veracity. They're going to contest it. I expect it. I expect the courts to rule in Michigan and Wisconsin. Nevada still in play. Trump's going to win Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina. So this thing is going to come down to the court. That's how I'm calling it. We already have evidence for tampering and stuff. Supreme King Coon already gave us the evidence. So it's already in play. Right here in Pennsylvania, the GOP is bringing lawsuits up, and Trump's got a comfortable 10-point lead. So you can best believe they're going to be doing the same thing if they haven't already in Michigan and Wisconsin. Like I said, it goes to the courts, Trump wins. Biden is a fundamentally weak candidate. We can see the map that bears it out. Look at the Senate. Look at the House races. Look at the down vote in the state houses. Look at the courts. What leverage does Biden, or for that matter, Kamala Harris have? There will be a weak, lame duck president on day one, weaker than Obama. Think about that.
If I'm seeing this right in the chat, SKC, you got 10 seconds. If I'm seeing that right in the chat, I believe somebody, I think Tank Johnson, timed out BAP for saying good black men and good black women can hash things out. That is not a fair deletion or timeout or whatever. I don't think you timed her out. I think you just deleted. That's not a fair deletion. That's not a fair deletion. Let's not be ridiculous with that. Now, BAP is the one that implied that black women are at the abortion clinic while the baby is being sucked out of them, saying they're saying, "Go with God, my child," like this, like they. But you know, she's little illogical and irrational in debates. You know, when she debated Ji, she has her problems, but she made a reasonable statement right there. Don't just go to timing them out on the basis of having ovaries. But anyway, we about to wrap this bad boy up. Be nice, fellas. Be nice. But yeah, we wrapping this bad boy up. So I'd like to thank everybody who came through. RBR, nope. Get out of there. You not. I'm booting you from the studio. You're not about to come up. No, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I'd like to thank everybody who came through, everybody who liked, shared, subscribed. I appreciate all of your brothers, everybody who hit the Cash App, the Super Chat. I don't even know if anybody hit the Cash App because I lost my phone. I can't find my phone. I have no idea where my phone is at. I was trying to find it before the show. So I'd like to thank everybody. Thanks, Pablo, who just dropped down. Thanks, whoever the hell else was on the show. I forgot who else was up here. Or a Game Changer. And me and Game Changer probably be going on, I think, at around 9 p.m.ish. Obsidian will be going on at 6. So be looking out for all of that. So I'd like to once again thank everybody for coming through. Appreciate it. And we are out of here. Peace.